And good evening, high school football fans. We are coming to you live at Hamburg High School, just around the vicinity of Buffalo, New York, where the 5-0 Jamestown Red Raiders are going to take on the Hamburg Bulldogs, who are 4-1. Jamestown coming off a 35-12 win over the South Park Sparks last week, and Hamburg looking to right the ship, coming off a 28-22 loss against Williamsville South, their first loss of the season. But anyways, Norm Rodriguez here along with Jeremy Becker this evening. Jeremy, how are you doing as we approach nightfall here in Hamburg?
I am doing quite well, Norm. Thank you for asking. As you were talking about Hamburg coming off that loss to Williamsville South last week, Jamestown was given a run for their money against Williamsville South at Williamsville South, winning that game only by 5 points, a 42-37 win. So Williamsville South is a very tough opponent here in Class A.
Yes, it is. And one of the guys Jamestown does need to keep an eye on, the main guy, Devin Collins. He's averaging nearly 10 yards a carry on the season. He's rushed for 844 yards and 7 touchdowns on just 87 rush attempts. And they're a team that loves to run the ball, but they also throw it about 15, 16 times a game. Nolan Heavern, the quarterback, he's thrown for 465, but he's also rushed for 248, so he can do a little bit of running to set up the pass. So Jamestown's going to have their hands full a bit on the defensive side, but they've shown they can handle it.
Exactly, and stopping the run game is winning in the trenches, closing the gaps. That way Collins can't break up the middle or cut to the edge and be an edge rusher, Norm.
And in spite of Jamestown, they've got their own guy like this, Jalen Butera. Last week, he eclipsed the 1,000-yard rush mark. But we've got the national anthem. We will be right back. See you all on the other side. All right, so that was the national anthem there, but once again, before the anthem was played, Hamburg's going to have just as much of their hands full defensively with Jalen Butera. He broke 1,000 yards rushing last week against South Park. He had a 192-yard night, 4 touchdowns. He's got 1,035 rush yards on the season. He has scored 18 total touchdowns. He's rushed for 14. He's caught 4, and he's also averaging more than 20 yards a catch on a dozen receptions.
Yeah, I believe 12 catches for 245 yards, Norm.
That is correct. And
another Jamestown player that shouldn't be overlooked on offense, Ben Anderson.
Oh,
9
no.
carries, last game, 9 carry for 83 yards and 12 tackles on defense.
He's going to be a force defensively. He has gotten it done at linebacker for Jamestown. He doesn't get a lot of carries in the running attack, but when he does, he makes the most of each carry. He's averaging more than 8 yards a run this season in the small morsels that he has seen. And the reason partially why his carries have gone up a little bit, backup Trevon Blakesley suffered a shoulder injury, unfortunately, in the second game of the season, and it could be a season ender, but Jamestown's showing they've got a reliable bench. But we got this coin toss right now. We're going to see who's going to win this, and some of Jamestown's opponents, when they've won the toss, they've wanted that ball first because they know how dangerous Jamestown can be, and they want to make a statement and get on the board first and play with the lead.
Exactly. And, Norm, who are tonight's officials?
Speaking of that, tonight's officials, I've got them right here. The referee is Mike Binkowski, the umpire Joe Argentieri, linesman Steve Bell, line judge Tony Scanzuso, and the back judge Josh Huber. But let's see what this coin toss is. And Jamestown's won the toss, and they want the ball. So Jamestown getting the ball first. And speaking of that, they are a team. They love to run I call this a hybrid pistol formation. It's similar to a shotgun, but instead of an empty backfield or 4 wides, they do 3-4 wides, but they've also got Butera as a single back. Sometimes they'll do a 2-back set with it with Anderson and Butera, and it widens the horizons of options. You can hand it off to Anderson, hand it off to Butera, run a delay, a draw, or throw a swing pass in the flats. And one of those guys that's done that Sean O'Brien around there and Colin Melendez, two very other valuable receivers besides dinking it off to Butera.
I was just going to say, you have so many threats on the Jamestown side, don't you? You got Butera. You got Melendez. You got O'Brien, who really came into his own against Frontier. That was really his star game.
He had 5 receptions in that game. And speaking of last week, I meant to say this. The pick 6, which ended the game pretty much by Tyrese Wolford, he was actually a call-up from JV, and he was on the team for just a few days.
Yeah,
not even a week. It was a 95-yard pick 6.
And Kyler Nickerson, 16 tackles last game, Norm. That was his first game as well on the first team.
Wow. So Nickerson, another guy to keep an eye on as Hamburg's going to kick it off. And doing the honors from what I see, it's going to be Brady Renagel. Bold statement here by Coach Tom Langworthy. He's wanting to get it going right off the bat, not messing around.
Yep.
And the head coach for Hamburg is Jeff Tripp. Again, Hamburg 4-1. Jamestown have yet to lose 5-0, and we're about to be underway. Away we go. A squib kick, and it will get through the legs of Freeney. And it's recovered at the 4-yard line. What a job by Renagel to just squirt that kick on a squibber, keep it away from Butera. It went through the legs of Darius Freeney, just like that grounder Bill Buckner had for the Red Sox in the World Series.
Exactly. So Freeney is a junior, 6'3", 175 pounds, and normally when Jamestown gets the ball kicked off to them, the opposing team is going to try to kick the ball away from Jalen Butera, who is a Conley Cup contender this year in Western New York.
And if he could keep doing what he's doing, there's no reason why he can't take it home. And here comes Jamestown's offense. It'll be 1st and 10. The ball spotted at the 4-yard line after that mishandling there by Freeney. But it could have been worse. It could have rolled into the end zone and been recovered by Hamburg. But you'd rather keep it at the 4-yard line than give up some points right off the bat. But Renagel, though, that was a well-executed squib kick. I'm expecting more of those by him should the game go along where they get some touchdowns. But pistol formation right here. O'Brien set in motion. 1st down and 10. It's going to be a give to Butera. Butera crosses the 10. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another one. Gets to the 15. And he gets brought down around the 18, 19-yard line. Move those chains. 1st down Jamestown right off the bat. Not messing around. Getting their feet in the mud.
And Jalen's so strong that he could just carry defenders. And, I mean, you proved it right there, Norm. Just a simple run right up the middle, simple handoff, get out of the end zone. So about a 13-yard gain for Jalen.
So 14-yard run to start it off. And they're going to go 4 wides, 2 on each side. Again, they're in that hybrid pistol formation. O'Brien, the man in motion, and takes the snap. Drake rolls out to the right, throws to O'Brien in the flats. That's caught. Tackled at around the 25-yard line. It looked like he was brought down by Michael Boron, number 4. Their jersey's a little hard to tell with the black and the purple numbers.
Exactly.
But a gain of 5 yards forward beats a 6-7-yard sack, and they're in a good spot here, 2nd down 5.
And as the season has been going along, Trey's just looked so much more comfortable.
And he's only a junior, too.
And Trey's been a starter since 9th
Drake
grade.
wants a throw. Shooting it downfield, going deep, incomplete, and that's going to be interference. That pass was intended for Darius Freeney, and we're hearing a little bit of boos, but it's the right call. There was clear contact. It was intended for Darius Freeney, and in high school it's a 15-yard penalty. It's not at the spot of the foul.
Right. Either way, it will be an automatic 1st down.
Yes,
for
it will.
Jamestown. And against this high dynamic offense, you cannot do that at all.
So 10:39 left in quarter number 1. It's going to be a 1st down and 10 for Jamestown, and the ball be spotted at around the 40-yard line. So 1st and 10, 40-yard line. And Hamburg, they got 4 down linemen and a 4-3 alignment with 4 defensive backs covering the trips right. And here's a snap. It's going to be another give to Butera. Crosses midfield, and he's loose. Goodbye, Shirley. That's going to be a touchdown for Jalen Butera. No flags on the play. 60 yards for Jalen Butera. And as we've seen throughout the season, Butera finds the gap, turns on the turbo, ran in untouched. Easy touchdown. 19th of the year for him.
Yeah, so that was just another simple, quick draw up the middle, And as soon as Jalen got into the secondary towards the safety and got past him, you knew he was going to take it to the house.
And here comes the extra point attempt. It's going to be Ella. No. Oh, I beg your pardon. It looked like they were going for 2 for a moment, but
Nope, it's
Drake gets back down, and Profiter's set to kick the PAT. Snap, put down, kick on the way, and that one is through. So 10.5 minutes left in quarter number 1. 90 seconds it took for Jamestown to get their first 7 points on the board. 7-0 they're ahead as both teams will get their kickoff units out as they prepare, as Hamburg prepares to get the ball for the first time this season. And Hamburg on the offensive end, from what we're seeing here, they're averaging more than 30 points a game offensively. So their offense can score like a cash register. So I would assume they believe in the defense. Yeah, it's only 7 points, but just keep playing.
Exactly, and it's really, really early, Norm.
Yes, it
There's
is.
only 10:30 left in the first quarter. And you were mentioning that Hamburg has scored 30 points a game. Jamestown has only had one game below 30, and that was a 2014 win over Frontier, who is just coming off a demotion, a call down to single A to triple A, or from double A. My apologies.
And it's going to be Caleb Bain kicking it off for Jamestown. And I would say his highlight of the year, the opening game against Orchard Park, the miss-hit squib kick that he recovered off of a bounce.
Yeah, and that actually really sealed the game against Orchard Park.
Yes, it did, but let's see how he does here. Bain can boot the ball deep. Here it comes, and that one right down the middle of the field. That gets fielded around the 16-yard line, 25 to the 30. And Bain, one of the guys to bring the returner down. So Hamburg, though, they've got good field position. They're starting at around the 35, 36-yard line. Ball spotted at the 35. So it's going to be a first down and 10 for Hamburg. And on their offensive side, they're a team that loves to run the I formation. And that's another good thing. It's very similar a little bit to the pistol formation, but it's mainly under center. And you can do an inside handoff, a counter, or you can throw it to your tight ends. That's usually what the I formation is all about.
Yeah, mainly like you said, setting up that play action fake. But it looks like they're going to go shotgun, trips, right, no receivers to the left.
So we got a single back to start the game, and here's a snap. Ball way up there on the flats, incomplete. That was intended for Jeffrey Lavelle. Again, the quarterback is Nolan Hevern. So far this year, 3 touchdown passes, 3 interceptions for him, but he's one of those guys that's a dual threat. He's also rushed for nearly 250 yards on the season, so if he has trouble with the arm, he can atone for it with his legs. But second down, 10 to 35 for Hamburg. The last time these two teams played each other earlier this year, coincidentally, Jamestown beat them at Strider Field 47-6. As here's a snap. It's going to be a quarterback keeper and crossing the 40 and down around the 42, 43. So it's still going to be third down, but it makes it third and about 2, maybe 3. That's definitely going to be manageable here for Hamburg. And with that, they can still run the ball on a 3rd and 3 if they'd want to.
Right, and that was Ben Anderson again with the stop. A key defensive player for Jamestown is definitely, like we talked about in our pregame, Ben Anderson, able to get those tackles. I mean, he has 6 sacks on the season, too.
He does. Last week was the only game in which he failed to have one so far. The other games, it was 1, then 2, then 1, then 2. Like Harry Belafonte jumping the line. 3rd and 3. It's going to be a handoff on the counter. Crossing the 45 to midfield, breaking it. Oh, he slips. Collins with the carry and Sincere Green with the tackle. It is enough for a Hamburg first down, so Hamburg showing that they can counteract with Jamestown, and they're off to a good start here. Let's see how they do now that they're in Jamestown territory. And Hamburg breaks the huddle. From what we've seen in Jamestown, they love to have 3 down linemen and then have the edge rusher, which has been number 17, Jarrell Farmer. And he's had a successful year on the edge. The other edge is O'Brien. 3 backers. Here's the snap, and here comes another pass. Hevern looking to throw, and it's complete and out of bounds at around the 43-yard line. That was complete to Aiden Matias, the tight end. Freeney with the tackle. Gain of 5 yards. Still, that makes it a 2nd and manageable, 5-yard gain.
Very manageable. I mean, Jamestown was going blitz right there. Good job there by the Hamburg offensive line to read it and get those blocks. And they gave Heaven here a lot of time.
And Jamestown, they've done very well this year, rushing the passer, not giving them a lot of time to throw the ball. And here comes the pistol, and here goes a quarterback keeper on the sweep. And he'll be lucky if he gets a yard, maybe two. Great effort there by Heaven on the run. It was Nicholas Maraglia trying to bring him down, but once again, though, for Hamburg, it was Heaven with the run, and he was able to avoid a possible 3-yard loss into a 3-yard gain, making it a 3rd down and 2. And now they can open up the playbook a little bit here with it being this short of a down.
Yeah, you could have Heaven run. You could have Collins run it to the outside. You could throw the ball. I mean, Hamburg really has a plethora of options to use right here.
And the good thing they can do is if they can work some of the clock. Butera is a starting linebacker, so it could wear him out a little bit if you're Hamburg and get lucky. But here comes the I formation. Oh, read right away by Anderson. And he's showing why he's had a great season defensively. He read that like an open book. The gap was wide open, split like the Red Sea. Anderson jumped through it like a jackknife and tackled the runner. We'll see how much of a loss of yards that was.
Loss of
4-yard loss. And from what we're seeing here, Hamburg is going to go for it. And personally, playing a team like Jamestown, I do like this decision. You're not too far back on your own end to where Jamestown could get an easy 6. You're in Jamestown territory at their 45, 46-yard line. So should this be a failure, Jamestown would still have okay field position, but nowhere near as good as it would be if it was even further back. But if you're Hamburg, you've got to convert this, though, regardless.
Exactly.
And I would say they're going to throw it here. 4th down 6. Here's a snap. Havern looking to throw. Shoots it down the middle of the field. Incomplete. And looked like that was intended for Ryan Gomolka. And they're going to turn it over on downs. It'll be a 1st down for Jamestown at their own 45-yard line. And in the words of Tom Prince, Jamestown's probably going to stick with the trench, smash mouth, punch in the teeth type of running that they've done throughout the season.
Did you notice on the far side there was a rusher coming off the edge?
Yes, there was. And that was Farmer, Jarrell Farmer.
So Farmer really letting himself known through this game.
He has had a couple of sacks this season, too.
So here comes Jamestown's offense. And, again, you go with Butera, you go with Melendez. Trey's starting to settle in this season. I mean, so far Jamestown has had 2 rushes for 73 yards already.
From what we're seeing, though, Melendez will be covered by Bryce Hand, number 28. It's going to be 4 wides. That hybrid pistol as Butera sent in motion, and we got a flag. Delay a game. So delay a game on Jamestown. They'll be back at the 40-yard line, and that's one of those common penalties where if it's made during a game and then when you go to practice a few days later, you're running a lap or 2 per penalty. And it's one of those ones where you have to be disciplined and you can't let the clock run out on you.
Exactly.
You got to have great time management, and that was not a good example of it. 1st and 15 at the 47-18 left in quarter number 1. Pistol formation here for Jamestown. Butera the motion man, and he will receive it on the motion. And he gets to the 40, 45 midfield. He's got more than enough for the 1st down. Knocked out of bounds inside the 40 to around the 38, 37-yard line. That's more than enough for a 1st down. We'll see the spot in just a moment once we get it.
Looks like it's about a 20-yard game.
It's going to be a 23-yard run, so the run gets to Hamburg's 37. And they're going to go with the trips left here. There's Melendez, O'Brien, and looks like it's good. Yeah, it is Butera. And here's the snap. It's going to be a give to Anderson. Anderson crosses the 35. Gets to about the 34, 33. Again, Anderson, the last few weeks, his carries have started to climb up a little bit. A good support system for Butera when he needs a break.
Exactly. Looks like a gain of 2 or gain of 3 from my vantage point.
It's going to be a gain of 3. Got to the 34-yard line. The spot was at the 40. But Jamestown, they're known for doing that little semi-hurry-up between plays. And we got about 6.5 minutes left in quarter number 1. Jamestown up 7-0, and they're hungry for more. They're nearing the red zone, and they're also nearing the end zone again. They got there for the first time tonight on Butera's 60-yard touchdown run. If he can get a touchdown here, I know he's looking for number 20 total on the season for himself.
Yep.
But right now the single back is Anderson. There's 2 slot receivers and 2 on the line and a fake pitch to Anderson. Here comes the rush, and Drake's going to get sacked. Hamburg was not fooled on that one. Looked like it was number 20 on the sack, James Reef. Again, the numbers for Hamburg a little tricky. The black numbers and the purple.
That was a 5-yard sack.
Oh, there's a correction. It's number 50, Cameron Viavato with the sack. Sometimes dark jerseys and dark numbers, they can be hard to read.
About 5-6 yard sack right there.
3rd down 13. It's a shovel over to Butera, but another flag. We have seen some sloppy games when we've been in Jamestown and Strider Field. So far, a couple of flags already thrown. We'll see what this one's about. It's going to be a false start on Jamestown. And small penalties like that, even though they're just 5-yarders, they can be drive killers.
Exactly, because instead of going, obviously instead of going towards the end zone, you're going backwards. And it's almost cost Jamestown a couple times.
They also had to delay a game, too.
Exactly, so a couple offensive penalties early on.
So 3rd down and 18 here at the 46. 2 wides on the left side. It's going to be Payne Bianco and Melendez. And there's going to be another receiver on the far side. Here's a snap. And it's going to be just a give to Butera. He'll cross the 45 to the 40. Breaks a tackle. He's down the sideline to the 30. Spins away from a defender. Gets knocked down around the 28, 29. He's going to be about a yard short from what we're seeing. But this is definitely 4-down territory for Jamestown. They're inside the 30-yard line of Hamburg. And a great run there on the delay by Butera. We'll see what the spot is. It is going to be a 4th and short.
Oh, wow, they're going to mark it 4th and 4.
4th and 4. And we got a whistle here. We're not. Timeout call by Hamburg. We'll take a break ourselves. Jamestown up 7-0. You're watching this matchup between Jamestown and Hamburg on WNY Athletics. Stay tuned.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. Ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
And it's going to be a 4th down and 3 here for Jamestown. That was a 15-yard run by Butera, so it'll be a 4th and 3 at Hamburg's 30.
Butera has 4 carries for about 105 yards already, Norm.
Wow. If he can keep this up, he could get 2,000 by the end of the season, counting postseason games.
And pretty close to a shoo-in for the Conley Cup contender, but there's so many great athletes out here in Western New York that it's hard to say even this late in the season.
And the Hamburg fans getting loud here. 4th and 3 at the 30-yard line. Drake in the shotgun formation. He's got 4 wideouts, 2 slots. Butera the single back. A fake handoff to Butera would not hurt here because I'm sure Hamburg's expecting something for Butera. Drake, here's a snap, and he's going to roll. Looking, throws it over to O'Brien. That's caught. And he did not get it. He was definitely short. So he's going to be a yard or 2 short for the first. Not a bad idea getting it to somebody else, but the route, I'm not sure if it was designated to be that short or unless O'Brien cut the route too short. If O'Brien cut the route short, that's on him.
Exactly.
But Hamburg, they've got the momentum right now with the stop. They'll get the ball at their 29-yard line. That was just a 1-yard completion, and there's a lot of Hamburg fans here tonight with it being Hamburg, but Jamestown's getting a decent turnout of fans as well.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the red and green travel pretty well from the southern tier.
Sorry to cut you off, Jeremy. It was Bryce Hand with that tackle to stop the first down from occurring. And here's a snap. It's going to be a pitch, and that's going to go over to Collins. And Collins down the sideline. Gets to the 45, tackled out of bounds around the 47. More than enough for a Hamburg first down. And in all honesty, compared from last season to this season, Hamburg's got a lot more strength and numbers than they did the year prior.
Oh, definitely. They almost doubled, it looks like, from last season.
Well, there was a lot of JV players from what we were hearing, too, which was coincidentally earlier this year.
Yeah, that was only in April.
It's kind of hard to believe, but again, it's one of those times where Stephen King could have wrote a thriller novel about. But it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. Manson in motion, a fake handoff. It's going to be a keeper. And he'll be lucky if he got back to the line on that run. And one of the guys to bring him down was number 54, Joey Delgado. Delgado, one of the front D linemen to have a great season for Jamestown. Him and Julian McGaughy, they've been a 1-2 punch blowing open gaps. And Hamburg breaks the huddle. It was a gain of 1 yard by Hevern on the run. So 2nd down and 9, 4.5 minutes left in quarter number 1. He's under center in the I formation. Here's the snap, and it's going to be a long pitch. And I don't know if that was maybe a possible trick play, but Butera with the tackle. And the give was to Jeffrey Level, but that was a big loss. I wonder if that was a designated halfback pass there.
Yeah, that was almost like
that was a deep pitch.
It was a deep pitch, but that was almost like the 4th and 1 in week 1 for Buffalo type play.
That was a 10-yard loss.
Actually, it looks like 11.
Oh, it's going to be ruled an 11-yard loss on that play. It's going to be 3rd down and 20. So Hamburg, they're going to go into the pistol here. They've got a trips on the right, no receivers on the opposite end. They do have the single back, and Hevern wants to throw. Here comes the rush. Throws. Oh, incomplete. And that was intended for Collins. Looked like they were trying to go for a screen pass there, but Collins couldn't field it in. But I think he's better off letting it go incomplete because there was 3 Jamestown defenders ready to make a hit. That would have been at least a 3-4 yard loss.
Exactly, and they're going to go ahead and punt here for Hamburg.
This is smart thinking. You're too far on your own end, but they need to coffin corner this punt. You do not want it to go into the hands of Butera. It'll be Renego with the punt. He does the punts and kickoffs for Hamburg. I think he's going to coffin corner at about 30 yards. Here comes the snap. It's a high one. And, oh, that was partially deflected by Sincere Green. And that rolls, and it gets fielded there by Hamburg. It's at the 39-yard line. And Sincere Green with the block, though, technically it's officially not because the ball went forward. That's going to be a 2-yard punt there by Renego due to the rush. And Jamestown's going to have excellent field position.
Yeah, Sincere just broke past the middle blockers right there. And he beat him clean off the edge.
Yeah.
Coming off the outside and then deflected the ball. Didn't get all of it to block it. But did a good job to get the deflection. And Jamestown starting at their own, looks like the 39-yard line.
They're in Hamburg territory.
Oh, that's right. They're in Hamburg. They're on the Hamburg 39. So
with this situation, I would say take a chance and go for the end zone right now. Usually after a momentum seeker like that, you try to go for all the marbles on the first play.
Put all the chips on the table, Norm.
2-back set. Here's the snap, and it's going to just be a give to Butera. And he'll get to about the 37-yard line. It'll be a gain of 2.
Looks like it's going to just be
a 1-yard gain. So it'll be at the 38-yard line. It'll be a 2nd down and 9. Butera, he's coming in this game averaging more than 200 rush yards a game.
And again, last game he had 192 back at Strider Field on homecoming night,
where he was the king. And they're going to have 4 wides, 2 slots. Butera, the single back. Melendez, the man in motion. We got another flag. And this is the 2nd false start penalty on Jamestown in the last 2 drives. And that's something that head coaches want to rip their hair out about.
Exactly, because that's the third, like you said, it's the 3rd offensive penalty before the ball is even snapped.
Yeah.
1 delay game, 2 false starts. But you got Jalen Butera. You got Colin Melendez. You got Trey Drake.
Yeah, they got Butera flanked out in a slot spot. They're going 5 wides, empty backfield. It's going to be a trips left. Drake takes a snap, looks to throw. And that one's caught by O'Brien. Makes a man miss, gets to the 35 to the 34. So a gain of 9 yards, that'll make it 3rd and manageable. They nearly doubled the amount of yardage after the penalty. So it'll be a 3rd down 5. A little over 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Jamestown up 7-0.
Yep, Frontier over South Park 7-0.
Speaking of South Park, Willoughby, I think he's going to be a sharp quarterback for them. He's only a sophomore, but I believe he'll get to an elite level within the next year. But here's the give to Butera. Oh, jackknifing it down the middle of the field. Touchdown number 20 on the season for him. And he could have just done Mambo number 8 going into the end zone. That's how easy it was for him. Wow.
So, as the gap was closing, he barely got through that line, defensive line. And again, like we talked about on the first rushing touchdown, Norm, as soon as he gets past the secondary, when he gets past that deep safety, he's gone.
Well, here's Profiter for another extra point. Drake will hold. Here's a snap, a low snap, kick on the way, and it just goes through. And it hits one of the poles on the field, but it does go through. It doesn't have to be smooth. It could be a knuckleballer, a dying quail, a dead duck. It goes through. Jamestown up 14-0 with $1:46 left in the first quarter.
Wow. I mean, and also, can we talk about how good as the season, last couple of years, or couple seasons, because it's been the same year.
Yeah.
Ella has improved tremendously. I mean, she's almost becoming automatic at this point.
Yeah.
Last game she made all her extra PATs. Is that correct?
Yeah. From what I know, she's got 3 misses on the year, but 2 of them were blocked.
Right.
But it's going to be Caleb Bain kicking it off. They've had a little multitude of kickers doing kickoffs. Sometimes it's Caleb Bain, sometimes it's Keith Miller. But for Hamburg, one of the deep men is Devin Collins. Bain's got the hand up in the air. He's about to put the toe to the leather once again, and away we go. Kickoff downfield at around the 20-yard line. Prancing with it, swings it to the center of the field, makes a man miss, gets to the 35 to the 40, cuts it to the right side of the field, past midfield, makes another man miss, and tackled out of bounds at the 43. And that was Ryan Gomolka on the return, and that's the momentum swing that Hamburg needed. They needed a big play. That was a 37-yard kickoff return. They're in Jamestown territory to start it. Hamburg needs to get some points on this for the momentum to fully go their way on this end. What a return, Ryan.
That was a great return. So, far side cuts back towards us, takes it all the way to the edge, and he was actually tackled inbounds barely. And he goes right there on the sideline on, I believe that's the 43-yard line.
It is the 43. 43-yard line on the right hash. It'll be first down and 10 for Hamburg. Hamburg in the pistol. Motion man is Lavelle. Here's the snap, and here comes a throw. High throw, incomplete. And it looked like that was intended for, looked like it was Jack Coots, number 22, from my view. And it was.
So far, Hebron is only 1 for 5 at 5 yards. Passing, Norm.
Yes.
Mainly getting it done on the ground. Kind of like Lamar.
And here comes the motion, and it's going to be a handoff again to Collins, and he'll cross the 40 almost as a flag is thrown on the play. Got it to about the 41, but we'll see what the flag is. It's in the area of holding, and that's what's going to be. It'll be a holding on Hamburg. So that's going to be a big penalty for the Bulldogs, and that pretty much takes away some of the yardage on that return by Ryan Gomolka. They'll be back at the 42-yard line, so that's going to be a 15-yarders in total.
Second down and 25.
Second and 25 at the 42-yard line of their own.
Ball's placed back on the 42.
This is one where you have to throw it.
Second and 25, Bulldogs.
From what we're seeing so far, they're using a mix of some power I, some wing T, and regular I formations from what we've seen for Hamburg. Here's a snap, fake handoff, and Hebron wants to throw. Nice block there, and he's got some room to run. Gets to the 45, crosses midfield, and he's knocked down at around the 48-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 9 yards, so it'll be a third down and 16. Nice patience there by Hebron. Didn't have a lot of time to throw the ball, so he takes a cut over to the left side and is able to get 9 yards. Makes it 3rd down 16.
15 or so for Hamburg.
And we got half a minute left in quarter number 1 and counting. We'll see if Hamburg chooses to run a play or just let the first quarter run out as they break the huddle. Jamestown, they got 3 down linemen, 2 rushers. And they're going to bring the front. Here comes the throw. Shooting it deep downfield, incomplete. That was intended for Jack Coots. But you know what? With that throw, though, Heveron's showing that he can throw a laser.
Exactly. So 4th and 16, 6 seconds left in the first quarter.
Looks like they're going to punt the ball. It's going to be Brady Renego. His last punt was deflected by Sincere Green, only went 2 yards. Let's see if we can get enough of a sustainable blockage to get about a 30-yard punt, coffin corner style. It's going to be Butera and Freeney, the returners. If you want to risk a return, you're better off punting it to Freeney.
Yeah, you do not want the ball to go into Jalen's hands.
Unless if Jamestown's got a trick play ready for it. Here comes the punt. Oh, and that one was a shank, but it hit off a hand of a Jamestown player. That's loose, and Hamburg's on it. Wow. What turned from a knuckleball shank, and Hamburg recovers inside the 30-yard line. It looked like it had deflected off the hand of Farmer prior to the muff there by Jamestown, but that's how we end the first quarter. Jamestown up 14-0. Stick around for the start of the second quarter right here on WNY Athletics.
Paul Wolf Agency, how can I help?
I got a problem. I got a big problem. The house flooded overnight, everything's destroyed, and I don't know what to do.
You can relax. The wolf is on his way.
What's the damage?
It's bad.
As opposed to good? It's 20 minutes away. I'll be there in 10.
You're Teddy?
Yes, sir.
I'm Paul Wolf. I solve problems.
Oh, good, because I got a big one in here.
May I come in?
Absolutely.
Mr. Wolf, can I get you a cup of coffee?
When you're ready to buy a home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. You can find new listings before they appear anywhere else and refine your search for immediate notifications of similar properties. Plus, get pre-qualified to make your offers stronger and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent who knows your area and how to close the deal. So when you're ready to buy, visit howardhanna.com and find your home fast.
I love being home.
And we're about to start quarter number 2 momentarily here at Hamburg High School, just near Buffalo. 14-0 in favor of Jamestown. But to the viewers that are just starting to tune in, to end the first quarter, Renego had a dying quail of a punt that rolled down the field. It had a nice bounce for Hamburg, but it looked like it had deflected off the hand of Jarrell Farmer, but then it got touched by a Jamestown up back, and it got recovered by Hamburg at Jamestown's 25. So this is a golden opportunity for them to get some points. Here's a snap. It's going to be a give. A give once again to Collins, and he's going to get met up on the middle of the field. He'll be lucky if he gets 2 yards.
Looks like that's probably what they're going to give him. Yeah.
It'll be a gain of 2 yards. Delgado on the tackle.
Second down 8 for the Bulldogs.
It'll be a 2nd down and 8 at the 23. And Hamburg breaks the huddle. And here come the Bulldogs in a pistol formation. Here's the snap, fakes the handoff, and that is looked like it was a backward pass there to Gomolka. He was able to get away a little bit, but gets tackled at around the 21. So it'll be a gain of 2 roughly.
5-yard gain. Third down 3 for the Bulldogs.
Oh, it's going to be rolled a gain of 5. So it'll be a 3rd down and 3 at the 18-yard line. Definitely 4-down territory if you're Hamburg. You don't want to settle for 3 being down 14-0.
I don't think it's 3rd down 3. Actually, from up here, it looks like it's 3rd down and 5.
Well, it was rolled a gain of 5 yards of completion, so we're just going with it. 3rd down 3 at the 18. Here's a snap, fake handoff, and here comes the keeper, and he did not get it. He's going to be short of the 1st down by about 2 yards. one of the guys on the tackle for Jamestown was number 17, Jarrell Farmer.
Looks like it's going to be actually 4th down and 4.
We'll see. Oh, it was a loss of a yard. So 4th down and 4 at the 20.
They were deliberating earlier, and that original play was called back to a 3rd and 5.
Also, there must have been some confusion, so it's a gain of 1 on that. So it'll be a 4th and 4 at the 19, and you know Hamburg's going to go for it. You don't want to go away with just 3. And here comes the I formation. Sorry for cutting you off, Jeremy. Here's a snap, and fake handoff. Heverin wants a throw. Here comes the rush. Gets away from it. Looking. Throws to the field. Incomplete. Looked like that was intended for Gomolka, and Hamburg had a golden opportunity here, and they just couldn't get it done. 4 plays on that drive, just 6 yards, and now Jamestown's going to get it back with a shot for a 3-possession lead.
Yeah, and when you're given that opportunity by Jamestown, I know Jamestown's not doing it intentionally.
Right.
You got to take advantage of that. This Jamestown team, over the last 2 seasons, have made opponents pay when they have not capitalized on these type of opportunities. Williamsville South up 10-0 over West Seneca West.
We'll have some more updates and scores as the game goes along, but here's O'Brien sent in motion by Drake, and he'll roll out over to the right, looks to throw. He'll throw it down the left side of the field. That's caught by Melendez. Cross the 35 down at the 40. 21 yards on the completion to Melendez, who is a wide receiver punter combo for Jamestown. Move the chains, 1st down Jamestown, 9.5 left in the half. Jamestown up 14-0.
Yep. Trey Drake, 4 for 4, 38 yards so far.
And Butera nearly has 150 yards rushing already, and he's got 2 touchdowns. Drake in the pistol. Here's the snap and another give to Butera. He crossed the 45 midfield. He could be gone again, and he is. So long, farewell, I bid you adieu. Touchdown, Jalen Butera. He's got the hat trick, 3rd of the night, and the game's still not even a half old. 20-0 Jamestown. 2nd 60-yard touchdown run of the game for Butera. Put him over 200 yards in the first half.
Yeah. That's actually exactly right. He's just over. 7 rushes, 200. Actually, he's over 220.
Whoa. And it's not even halftime.
Nope. 226.
Wow.
On 7 carries.
But here comes the PAT by Profiter, and it is
good.
right down Broadway. 21-0. Jamestown gets the blackjack. 9:21 left in quarter number 2, and Hamburg, they got to come up with some way to regroup. We have seen that they can move the ball down the field, but they've got to figure out a way to punch it in the end zone and start cutting down this deficit a little bit.
And what did I say when this drive began? As soon as you give Jamestown a little bit of opportunity, you don't capitalize on a turnover, they're going to make you pay. Jalen Butera, the hat trick, just, again, made the Bulldogs defense pay. And it was just it's just a simple, quick draw up the middle.
Yes, it is.
From up here, and it's so effective because Jalen sees the field so well.
And speaking of that, that is the 21st touchdown of the year for Butera. We still got 3 regular season games left in the season.
That's his 17th rushing touchdown.
Yes, it is. Caleb Bain preparing to kick it off for Jamestown. 21-0. They are ahead here at Hamburg. First game we've done this year for Jamestown that is not at Strider Field.
And we are so happy to be here in Hamburg, New York.
And here's Bain's kick, and oh, that one's a beauty. That's going to be fielded at the 15-yard line, and that looks like it is Cotton. Yes, it is Collins. He crosses the 40, gets past the 45, and Collins with a nice kickoff return there. That was his best play from scrimmage so far. Jamestown, they've done fairly well stopping them on getting the ball.
Exactly. So, in Clarence, it is 14-6 Clarence over Orchard Park.
Wow, and that's a shock.
Yep, we're still waiting for a score from Bennett and Kenmore East. Kenmore West, Frank Wolf's alma mater, leads North Tonawanda 14-0.
The man, the myth, the legend, Frank the Dog Wolf, who, along with Paul Wolf Insurance, solves the problems.
Yep, 7-0 Frontier over South Park still. We'll be giving scores as soon as we can.
Here comes the empty backfield, and Havern's going to keep it here in a quarterback sweep. Crosses midfield, 45, gets out of bounds at around the 40. Tackle on the play by Kyler Nickerson, who had a great game last week. 16 tackles versus South Park in the homecoming game. That's more than enough for a Hamburg first down, and small plays like that are what Hamburg needs. Get some points on the board, and you get the ball to start second half.
Yeah. Which will bowl favorably in Hamburg's favor. And we've seen a couple games where Jamestown had a big lead, and then all of a sudden it just shrunk and shrunk and shrunk.
It did. Williamsville East, they were up 32-6 at one point. And here comes a motion man. That is Lavelle. Here comes a snap. Havern wants to throw. Here comes a screen. Intercepted! Caleb Bain! And can he rumble it into the end zone? He's going to. He's going all the way. Touchdown, Caleb Bain. Defensive touchdown for Jamestown, and that was just a deflection, goes right into his hands. He pulled a Keith Trailer with that interception, turned on the Jets, and went in untouched. 27-0 Jamestown, and the first touchdown not by Butera tonight.
Caleb Bain, the 6'1", 265 defensive lineman. That's a big man touchdown right there.
And there's some big men that can fly down the field.
I mean, that was as soon as he got the ball, he was pretty much
field.
Yeah, he was pretty much gone to the house.
I'm sure his eyeballs got really big as he caught that ball. But here comes another extra point here by Profiter. Oh, Hamburg may have jumped off, but the kick's good either way.
Extra point is up and good.
So 28-0, 8:53 left in the first half, and even though it's still the first half, this is starting to become a rout.
Exactly. This is almost what happened at Strider Field last year.
Yes.
Or it would be a rout pretty much by halftime.
What Hamburg needs to do right now, they can't force anything, obviously. They should try burning as much clock as they can with efficiency, get a touchdown on the board, prevent defensively, get the ball to start second half, regroup during halftime.
Yeah, so here's some more scores, Norton. Williamsville South, 10. West Seneca, nothing. Still waiting on a score from Williamsville North at Lancaster. Williamsville North, of course, famous for Rob Gronkowski.
Whatever.
Clarence up 14-12. So Orchard Park going for 2 and failing. Bennett, we're still waiting for a score for Bennett Kenmore East. Kenmore West is still up 14-0 over North Tonawanda.
Oh, I'm seeing something here, Jeremy. It looks like Bain's going to get this one off. Probably saying, hey, you got the pick six, take this kickoff off. It's going to be Jarrell Farmer putting the boot to the ball.
19-6 Frontier over South Park.
Here comes the kick, and that's just going to be a squibber down the field. And that gets fielded by Gomolka at around the 20-yard line. He'll try to get to the center of the field, makes a couple men miss, and he gets tackled at the 39-yard line. He almost broke that. One broken tackle, he could have been down the sideline. Still, though, good field position here for Hamburg, and basically, let's retalk that last play because we don't have instant replay. It looked that was obviously a screen pass that was going to be attempted, but Havern got rushed so bad he just threw up a meatball, a lollipop, and it went right into the hands pretty much of Caleb Bain.
Exactly, and it looks like Havner threw off his back foot when he was throwing to the flat, so he was doomed. Fordonia 14, Southwestern 7.
Oh, that is probably one of the games of the year right there. Last time those two teams played each other, we were at that game. Southwestern won 31-12. It was Aiden Kennedy versus Nick Whitfield. But here comes the snap. It's going to be a pitch over to Collins. Finds, oh no, it got shut down right away by Ben Anderson. Anderson continuing to have a nice game for himself on the defensive side of the ball.
Yep, that turned into what probably was going to be a 10, 15-yard gain into a 1-yard gain. That's big. Yeah, you can't say how good
factors.
exactly how good Ben Anderson has been for this Jamestown team. Probably one of the more underrated players here in Western New York.
Well, in my opinion, he's been so superior defensively, his offensive end just gets overlooked.
Exactly, but he's proven why he's one of the best defenders in Western New York.
They're going to go on a trips left here. High snap! And rolling back to the 25. Picked up by Farmer. That's going to be Jamestown's football. And the mistakes keep on piling up for Hamburg. Wow, this is bad.
This is getting ugly.
I don't want to bash, but I cannot lie. This is looking too great for Hamburg. And Jamestown, they've got a shot for a 30-plus point lead before halftime.
So let's turn a negative for Hamburg into a positive because we like to boost up these athletes. Jamestown's defense is just winning in the trenches, causing all sorts of commotion, all sorts of like confusion. And as soon as they're about ready, Hamburg's about to set the play, get a good game. Jamestown's defense has been right there, and they've caused two. Well, actually, that one was just a high snap. Or
that was still a turnover.
Still a turnover.
Yeah, and that was nowhere near Havern's fault. It was a wide snap. There was no way he would have been able to catch that cleanly, but fake handoff to Anderson. Drake wants to go to the air, shooting it for the end zone, deflected and caught. But he's going to be short of the goal line. I believe that was Butera that made the catch. And that was Butera. That was a little volleyball action there. Popped up in the air, caught it like he was at center field in a baseball game, falls on his derriere at the 1 yard line.
That's about a 20-yard pass.
Oh, here comes the Wildcat formation here. Butera has been dynamite in this all year. Here's the snap, and he'll take it, and Walter Payton jump into the end zone. Shades of Walter Payton, Marcus Allen with that jump to the goal line. How about 4 touchdowns tonight for Butera? And 34-0, and we're not even halfway through the second quarter.
Oh, my God. That's his 4th touchdown. So we've seen the Wildcat formation numerous times while covering Jamestown. That was the first time I've ever seen Jalen jump over linemen.
You do what you got to do to get 6 points.
Oh, I know.
A lot of times, though, he's got the gap so wide open, he can just waltz in there.
Exactly, but that was a good read by Butera to jump over the lineman. Walter Payton would have been proud.
Well, here comes the put down. Kick out blocked. Extra points blocked, and it's going to be ruled dead. So Hamburg able to dissipate that touchdown a little bit. That's the 3rd block PAT Profiteers endured this year. 3 of the 4 misses have been blocked, so they have not been her fault.
No, it's just been the blocking team has been able to get past the special teams line and create that block.
Ow. Even so, though, that's 6 more points on the board for Jamestown. 34-0 here, and that's going to be 20 second quarter points for Jamestown. And if you're Hamburg, just take this drive 1 play at a time. Don't force nothing. Just go bit by bit by bit. Don't force anything huge. Don't try to shoot it 50 yards down the field if there's a double coverage.
Keep it simple, silly.
Exactly. Keep it simple.
Silly. Follow the kiss roll. Except for making it nicer. The last one. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. I hope our audience got a nice laugh. Tomorrow we got Akron at Tonawanda. Pioneer will be coming to RBL. And then there will be more on WesternNewYorkAthletics.com or Section6Football.com.
Yeah, and to all the viewers watching, we, as always, appreciate it, as it will be a kickoff here. And once again, it's going to be Farmer. Jarrell Farmer going to go total leather again. Let's see if he does another squibber. Oh, this one's a bit higher, more of an arc, bobbled it around the 20-yard line, but it gets picked up, swinging it over the center of the field. That's Collins. Collins to the center of the field, gets the midfield to the 45, to the 40, and he makes another man miss. He could go all the way here, and that's going to be a touchdown for Hamburg, and that is the positive thing they needed. An 80-yard kickoff return touchdown for Collins, and Hamburg is on the board, 34-6, 7:16 left in quarter number 2, and in spite of the deficit, listen to how loyal the fans are here at Hamburg. You got to respect that, even in spite of the deficit.
I do. I do respect it a lot, and that was a great run there by Devin Collins.
You did, yeah. I'm sorry, Jeremy. Do your thing.
Okay, now that the play-by-play announcer has calmed down a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. So that was a great job by Devin Collins. I mean, that was just field vision. That was just talent. And Devin Collins has been very, very strong for Hamburg all season, Norm.
Yes, he has. You didn't even need the Stanford Band and Tyrell on trombone for that play. Collins just did it all himself right there. Exercise the patience, and we're going to have a stoppage of player. There's an injured player down the field. We'll take a break ourselves. 7:16 left in the half. Jamestown up 34-6. Hamburg does get on the board. Stay tuned.
At Cairo First Wellness, your health and well-being is our passion. Let us take care of you and your family like one of our own.
Cairo First Wellness Center is dedicated to providing patients long-term relief and teaching them how to continue taking care of themselves. With a blend of different techniques, services, and personalized treatment plans, we'll help you find wellness in a way that's right for you. Between chiropractic care, spinal decompression, nutritional counseling, massage therapy, custom orthotics, and more. Your relief is in our hands. If twisting, popping, and cracking intimidate you, our Pro Adjuster restores the same range of motion as a physical adjustment would with gentle, repeated tapping.
Dr. Mo at Chiro First has been taking care of my back needs for the past 4 years. His staff treats you like family. I've had the traction, I've had the massage.
And we're about to get back into action here. The player that was down for Jamestown, and if this is even semi-serious, this is not good. It's Sean O'Brien. When Butera needs a break from the ball, O'Brien's been a reliable slot receiver for Jamestown, so hopefully it's nothing serious. But if it is, Jamestown does have that deep bench. They're definitely able to cope, should that be the case. God forbid it's not.
Exactly. We don't want anybody hurt here in Western New York. We want all athletes to have a healthy, fun experience.
Well, here comes the extra point by Renagel. Snap, put down, kick on the way, and that's a beautiful kick right there. That was his best kick of the night. That went about 10 feet up in the air. And 34-7 now the score, 7:16 left in the second quarter. And I don't know about you, but this has been a relatively slow game in spite of this being a fun one.
This has been fun for us to call. Good gosh, Frontier, 25-6 over South Park.
25-6.
25
That's
to
kind of
6.
surprising because, like I said last week, when Jamestown played South Park, the starting quarterback, Noah Willoughby, he looked fairly well in spite of everything he had to go through with Jamestown's defense. Despite the 2 picks, he looked fairly decent.
That's a lot of field goals, or possibly a 2-point safety in there for 25. Anyways, East Aurora is facing Dunkirk. Medina is up 18-7 over Wilson. We do not have a score over Lackawanna at Depew or Eldon at Eden/North Collins. It is still 14-7 for Donia over Southwestern in the second quarter. No score from Allegheny Limestone at Gowanda. The Falconer-Cassadaga Valley game against Lakeshore Brockport.
Jeremy, hold that thought. Here comes the kickoff, and that gets fielded there. And that's number 13, Darius Freeney. He gets tackled around the 26. So decent field position for Jamestown, but let's hear some more scores.
All right, so Salamanca up 13-0 over Timon. We do not have a score for St. Mary's at Springville. Coming up tomorrow, Norm.
Yes?
These are all the games. Brigard will be facing Lewiston Porter. Erie will be coming to St. Francis. So Montessori Martin game. Newfane at Cardinal O'Hara. Niagara Wheatfield at Star Point. Niagara Falls at Hutch Tech.
Ooh.
That actually might be a close game.
Yeah.
Sweet Home at McKinley. JFK at Cleveland Hill. Cleveland Hill doesn't really throw the ball much.
No, they only throw it once, twice a game, but we're about to get back into some action here as Jamestown be in that pistol formation. Here's a snap, and it's going to be, bad pitch. Picked up by Butera, and he's stopped back at the 21-yard line. So loss of 6 yards on the play. And I wanted to tell you, it's actually pronounced Timon.
Timon. My apologies.
Just wanted to let you know, just for future reference, it's one of those schools in the Monsignor League.
Ah. That's going to be a 6-yard loss.
And the pitch was a little wide. Butera tried to one-hand it a little bit, but couldn't get it, so
better
6
minus
yard
6 yards than a turnover,
exactly. It can always be worse.
Yeah.
But second down 16, but that play, could this be the start of momentum going Hamburg's way a little bit? Sometimes the wheels of momentum move slowly. They just got to do the hustle. Second down 16 at the 21-yard line for Jamestown. And they're going to stick in the pistol formation. They got 4 wides, 2 on each side. And it's going to be a give here to Ben Anderson. Anderson will cross the 25, gets it to the 26 roughly. It'll be about a 5-yard gain, makes it third down and 11. This is one where you got to throw it.
Looks like it's going to be more than a 5-yard gain because the line judge has it at the
it's going to be rolled, let's see here, 25. That's going to be another 3 yards there from what I'm seeing. Looks like it'll be at the 28-yard line.
Third and 9?
So I'll make that a 3rd and 8. So that's a gain of 8 yards there by Anderson, and Anderson showing when he gets a carry, he makes the most of it. But I know he's aching to get his first rush touchdown of the season. And we got a whistle here. Timeout call by Jamestown. 5:24 left in the half, 34-7 in favor of Jamestown. We're not going to go to commercial break here, but ever since that kick return touchdown by Devin Collins, since then, a bad pitch by Drake to Butera and an 8-yard run by Ben Anderson. A 3-and-out would be a big momentum boost, and it'll shift that even higher for Hamburg. You do want to get one more touchdown before the start of the second half because you do get the ball to start it.
Exactly, and I mean, it's a nice momentum boost, and then right now you kind of have Jamestown on their heels a little bit. Like, I don't want to say anything like that because the announcer's jinx is very real. Nice jokes.
Little broadcast humor.
Yep, we like to have a little fun here in the broadcast booth.
That's the best part.
So 3rd and 9, I'm gonna pull a Tony Romo. I'm gonna guess. It's so simple.
Who, Butera? I would say like 222 last I know.
He's got 120 on 2 runs.
Butera so far over about 223 on the ground,
roughly.
And then.
Yeah, apologies for that inadvertent speech I had there. Had a little question from the PA announcer about the amount of yards for Butera.
Yards per attempt, 21 yards average for Jalen Butera on this average.
You're good.
So, anyways, yeah, again, so Tony Romo, I'm going to say quick draw up the middle, give it to Jalen.
It might be a pitch to him. Nope, he's going to throw.
Oh.
Drake rolling over to the right, wings it to the right side of the field. Incomplete. That went through the hands of Carson Payne-Bianco, and that's a 3-and-out for Hamburg. So the Riptide's starting to turn a little bit for Hamburg. If they can get a touchdown here, make it 34-14, there have been big comebacks in football. Hey, we're near Buffalo. The comeback 1993, but it wasn't Jim Kelly. It was Frank Reich. 35-3, came back and won in overtime over the then Houston Oilers, 41-38. A lot of college comebacks like that, too. Josh Rosen down 44-10 one game against the A&M, 45-44, game-winning touchdown with seconds left, but here comes the punt by Melendez and nearly got blocked, and that influences the kick, rolls to the 40.
That's going to get a Jamestown bounce.
Yes, it does, 34-yard line, so that will be a 41-yard punt. That nearly got blocked, but a good bounce there puts at the 34. 5:06 left in the half, 34-7 in favor of Hamburg, and even though the deficit, Hamburg's got the momentum right now. You got the touchdown on the kick return by Collins. Then you force a 3-and-out for the first time tonight. Getting a touchdown on this drive here, that would even shift it even more for Hamburg.
Exactly. And again, momentum is a funny thing because it swings like an unpredictable pendulum.
Yes, it does.
It will go both ways all night.
Yep.
You were talking about college comebacks. Even though they lost that game, Florida State came back against Notre Dame.
Yes, they did.
I think it was 36-18.
Yes.
Then Mackenzie Milton came in and tied the game.
And here comes the I formation, the I tight, and here comes a handoff to Collins, and got it to 35. That'll just be a gain of a yard. Got tripped up by the Jamestown defense, and the only big play so far by Collins has just been that kick return. When he's been getting the handoffs, Jamestown has had an answer virtually every time.
It's really been Hevner on the rushing for Hamburg this game.
Yes, it wouldn't hurt to try some throws downfield. We did see Hevner try to throw one down the field, but it was too high. I would say abandon the screens right now because you did get that pick 6 by Caleb Bain. I'd say maybe try throwing some wheel routes, swing passes, some out patterns. But let's see here. This will be a screen pass, and that's caught by Gomolka. Gomolka across the 40 to the 44, and that's going to be a first down for Hamburg. If they can burn some of the clock, too, that would also be a plus if you're Hamburg.
Exactly. You don't want to give Jamestown. So that was about a 10-yard gain, or not 10, 9-yard gain.
Even so, it's enough for a Hamburg first down, and they're nearing Jamestown territory.
Oh, yes, Jamestown territory. Again, a little fun here in the broadcast booth.
Got to keep the watchers and listeners interested as Hamburg looking to cut the deficit down a little bit tighter. Hamburg in the huddle. They've usually been a little quicker, but they're deciding to take their time, come up with the right type of scenario to avoid a loss of yardage or another turnover. Their last 2 offensive drives, the pick 6 and that errant snap. But here comes the tight I formation. Here's the snap, and Hevern wants to throw. He's under pressure. Rolls over to the other side. Throws it downfield. Wide open. That's Collins. Caught 40. Down the sideline 30. And he's knocked out of bounds at the 22-yard line. How about that by Hevern? He gets under pressure on the left side, circles it over to the right. A square dancer would have been proud of that. Throws up a lob over to Collins, and that picks up a gain of 32 yards. And they're nearing the red zone here, and looks like Hamburg's starting to piece it together a little bit. And as always, better late than never, but you don't want it to be too little too late.
Exactly. And there's been some cases with Jamestown where for the opponent that's just been the case. You and Jacob called many of those games where the opponent just ran out of time.
The Frontier game's a great example as they'll send Collins in motion, Hevern on the keeper. And they've got it read like an open book. And no, I'm not referencing live and let die by the Eagles, but Hevern will be lucky if he got back to the line of scrimmage.
That's where they're going to mark them.
So no gain.
Little over 3:10 left in the second quarter and the first half. Stick around. I will be doing a halftime show, Norm. So if you want to join me on my halftime show,
it's always better conversationally than solo.
That's very true. Very difficult to do.
But once again, Hamburg in the I formation. Here's a snap and another give to Collins. Collins looking for some room, and he'll get it to about the 20-yard line, so a 3-yard gain.
Respectable.
Anderson and Garland on the stop.
Right. Actually, it looks like it's going to be a 4-yard.
Oh, they're running a 1-yard. Sometimes from seeing the pile of bodies, it can be tricky. But you know what? The referees have the better view than we do.
I think the referees are ruling it a 3. Or no, 4. I got a 4-yard.
Also, 4-yard gain here. 3rd down, 6. Hey, the refs got the better view, but we got the best spot in the house. The press box. It's going to be a 3rd down and 6 at the 20-yard line. Gomolka in motion. He'll take the handoff on the sweep. Finds a gap to the 20, to the 15. Cuts it to the inside. There is a flag on the play. We'll have to see what the flag is. Tackled inside the 5 on that wide receiver sweep by Gomolka.
Looks like it's inside the vicinity.
Holding.
Yep.
Didn't mean to cut you off there, Jeremy, but a holding penalty on Hamburg. And I would believe that'll be a spot foul plus 10 yards.
Yes.
So it's not going to be a 20, 30-yard penalty where we'd be like going to the old Wing City Grill, putting in a quarter and playing Blitz the League on the arcade machine.
Wow. What a throwback that was.
It's a great game.
Thanks for referencing Wing City. Man, I missed that restaurant. Anyways, back to football.
Yes.
Plenty of action coming up. Again, that Allegheny Limestone, or not Allegheny Limestone, Chautauqua Lake. Wait, no, not. Goodness gracious me. Maple Grove, Cassadega Valley Falconer versus Lakeshore Brockton. Westfield has been canceled due to the coronavirus.
Wow. And the waves have been starting to come up again and again, but thankfully we're here for this game. And I know for the schools, regardless of vaccination, students do have to be masked up, as well as staff, faculty,
yes,
respectably. But this is going to be a 9-yard penalty. It'll be a 3rd and 15 at the 29. This is where you need to throw it. And a screen pass wouldn't hurt, but you need the right blocking and a good amount of time. Here's a snap. Hevern wants to throw for it. Looking. He'll roll over to the right side. Still looking. And he's going to get hit out of bounds. He heads out of bounds and looked like it was Farmer again from my view. It's going to be no gain on the play, so it's going to be a rush attempt, not a sack. And this is 4th down, and Hamburg's got to go for it. You're down 34-7. Just keep the clock running because you want it to be a positive negative where if you don't score, you're not giving Jamestown a lot of time to make it 40 points at the same time.
Exactly. And you're getting the ball back on the opposite side of halftime.
Yes. This is going to be ruled a loss of a yard here. It's going to be 4th and 17 at the 31 with 49 seconds left and counting.
21-7 for Donia.
Wow, that's surprising. But it's going to be a 4th and 17 at the 31. Pistol formation. Hevern's going to throw. Here comes the rush. And Farmer with the sack. Farmer went in unblocked, jumped through the gap, and Hevern just got knocked down. 33 seconds left in the half. And this still could be enough time for Jamestown to get some points on the board.
I'm surprised they went for that. I mean, I know it's late and Jamestown doesn't have much time, but
it's still not a bad idea, though. You're down 34-7. You want to build your momentum even higher. You do get the ball to start the second half. you want to cut the deficit sooner rather than later.
You do bring up a good point, Norm. I retract my last statement, Western New York.
But let's see what Jamestown does here. Do they play it wise, take the knee, go into half with their confidence high, or do you want to go for the 40 burger before halftime? Langworthy is known to be aggressive. But I think this might just be a simple handoff to Butera. If he breaks a big one, maybe they'll call a timeout. Anything can happen.
Or it gets the hamburger. Anyways, it looks like there's going to be one back, or is
yeah, it's a single back, and it's going to be a pitch. That's Ben Anderson. Anderson to the 40. 45 midfield, and we got a flag on the play. 40 tiptoes to the 37. Tight-roped it, but there is a flag. It's around the holding. Let's see what it is.
Holding?
It'll be a holding
Offense.
on Jamestown.
But if it's a spot foul, Norm.
Yes, it is.
It looks like it's only going to be about 11. A loss of 1. So it will be.
It'll be a 1st and 11.
Yep. And that's exactly what it is. About 1.
This might be a no-gain penalty here. But or wait, no, this will be a 1st and 11. A little confusion here on the board.
It's 1st and 10.
Wow. A penalty all for nothing. Congratulations. But here comes the trips. Butera in motion. Here comes a snap. They'll just give it to Anderson to the 40. Finds a big gap. Here we go. 45-40, 35-30. Can he go all the way? And he's in for a touchdown.
I did not see a signal just yet.
It looked like Anderson hit the pylon, but we'll have to wait and see. Referees are going to have to discuss this.
Oh, I
thought he got in.
I think.
Oh, short of the goal line. A 62-yard run by Ben Anderson. 11 seconds left in the half. They're going to go, I believe they're going to go Wildcat here with Butera. But what I would like to see, there's some Wildcats where instead of the runner running it, he'll throw a jump pass.
Yep, timeout. Timeout, Jamestown.
We're not going to go to timeout. There's only 11 seconds left in the half. So
Ben Anderson, 2 carries, 64 yards.
Nearly 300 yards rushing in the first half alone. It's almost like you're playing the Madden game on rookie.
Oh, you're 2 off, Norm. 298 rushing yards.
I was estimating, so that doesn't count.
Timon is down. Timon is down 21-0 to Salamanca. Last time I checked, it was 27-6 Lancaster over Williamsville North.
Wow.
Which is actually not shocking. What was shocking was last week, Lancaster losing to Bennett. Did you catch that, Norm?
I believe I did, yes. Lancaster's one of the top teams in their class.
If they are the top, they're the top in Western New York in Class AA, without doubt. They are the measuring stick of Class AA.
And speaking of Lancaster, one of our colleagues there, Mr. Mark
Johnson.
Mark Johnson.
Yep. Anyways, what do you think here? Wildcat?
I'm thinking Wildcat.
I'm thinking maybe a pass to the flat.
Oh, this is Wildcat. They're in that tight formation. Butera in the Wildcat formation.
Is he going for number 5?
And here comes a snap, and he gets in easily. Touchdown number 5 for Jalen Butera. 6 seconds left in the half, 40-7. What do? Do you try to go for the extra point, or do you want to even it back out, go for 2, make it 35?
Go for 1.
You never know, though. You never know.
Ella's.
I don't see
Ella out. Ella's not out there.
Yeah, I don't see Proffer. It looks like they're going to go for 2 here to even it out, make up the miss or the block PAT. Not necessarily a bad idea because when they had that 32-6 lead over Williamsville.
27-8. Lancaster over Williamsville North. So probably the 2-point conversion wasn't tacked on at the end.
Orchard Park, 21-19. They're down over Clarence. And speaking of that, Gosella, he's having a great season respectively as the quarterback for them. But here comes a 2-point conversion by Jamestown. And here comes a lob to the corner of the end zone, and it is picked off in the end zone. That was intended for Darius Freeney. It's no good, but Jamestown cracks 40, 26 points in the second quarter. 6 seconds left, 40-7 the score. And if you're Jamestown, 2 options on the kickoff. 1, squib it 25-30 yards, or 2, just pooch it over to Ryan Gomolka, because last time it went to Collins, 80-yard touchdown.
Yeah, no, I say you get it to Gomolka, or you just do a simple small squib kick, and then if you're Hamburg, you're probably going to either make the play run 6 seconds, or you're just going to bring out your offense, put them in the knee formation, victory formation, as we call it.
Yeah.
And then go into halftime.
Honestly, that wouldn't be a bad idea. You don't want to risk another turnover. It'll give you time to regroup for the second half. You get the ball to start the second half, and even though it's only the first half, and this is not necessarily insurmountable, Williamsville, they nearly came back fully from a 26-point deficit versus Jamestown. It's still relatively early for Hamburg to panic.
I agree with that. I mean, if the 2-point conversion was successful, then I would say it's it's panic time. But one more score, I mean, it just depends on how Jamestown comes out in the second half.
Yes.
Defensively, there's still a whole nother half of football left.
Yes, there is, and the shifting can happen. We've seen it before. Yeah. The Frontier game, that was probably one of the games of the year.
Exactly.
Frontier with the wing T offense and Austin Lipper as the quarterback, they did fairly well against Jamestown, but if they would have had enough time, I think they could have pulled out a W.
They could have, definitely. Again, that was just Frontier, and that game was physical.
It was smash mouth. It was sloppy with penalties, too.
That was the typical Jamestown Frontier game.
Yeah, and there was a lot of penalties on each side, and I remember in that game, Coach Langworthy was yelling at his players to be quiet because some of them were chirping.
Yeah.
We were hearing it up in the press box. Even though you weren't calling it with me, you were still on the board. It was one I called with Jacob Fayok.
Yep. So Trey Drake has only missed one pass this entire half. 5 for 6, 58 yards.
Here comes Bain, the pick six man with the squib kick.
Onside.
I think he tried to squib it, but it gets recovered. 4 seconds left, 49-yard line. If they wanted to try something, the number one thing probably be to do is just shoot it downfield. That way, if it's intercepted, it'd be very difficult to start a run back. But
it depends on who picks it off, because if Jalen gets his hands on that ball, anything's possible.
Or Sincere Green.
Or Sincere. What? Jamestown has
2 turnovers forced.
Right. No, I'm saying Butera has 4 of the 5 or 5 of the 6?
5 of the 6.
Oh, goodness.
He's got
gracious.
5, Bain's got the other. Well, let's see what Hamburg does here. Do they want to go for the momentum, or do you just want to knee it and regroup for the second half? It looks like they're not going to be in victory formation here. Or wait a minute, it looks like it will be. It's just an unusual formation for a victory formation, but that's the end of the first half. Jamestown up huge over Hamburg, 40-7, but there's still one other half to play. Viewers at home, stick around. We're going to have a halftime show briefly. It's going to be Jeremy and I once again, because it's the fun way, the conversational mode, but do stick around. We're about to have the second half momentarily.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab right away. If you are in pain or just sore, don't take chances. Call RES today and take advantage of their 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. With no copays, RES will help navigate the confusing world of no-fault insurance with you, so you can concentrate on getting better. 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. The most important call you can make after an auto accident.
care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to wnyImmediatecare.com for more information.
Does he do car? Forget about it. How about home? Forget about it. Does he get good rates? Forget about it. And you're saying there's no problem too big for this guy? Forget about it. Paul, this is Johnny, the guy we've been talking about. Johnny, this is Paul Wolf.
Mr. Wolf, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for the invite.
Not a problem. It's Paul, not Mr. Wolf.
Oh, sorry, Paul.
Johnny, forget about it. For all your insurance needs, call 835-WOLF and...
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
All right, and welcome back to Hamburg, New York. We're about 5 minutes remaining in halftime, and really, Jalen Butera, 5 touchdowns, over 220 rushing yards already, Norm.
Yep.
It's really been the Jalen Butera show.
Yes, it has, but near the end of the first half, 62-yard run by Ben Anderson. From my view, it looked like he hit the pylon and got in, but as I've said in past broadcasts with you, whether it be WNY Athletics or Jamestown Jackals, referees have the better view. We get the best seat in the house.
Exactly. So, while we're here, at halftime, it is 21-19 Clarence over Orchard Park. Yesterday's games, Portville defeated Cattaraugus Valley 36-10.
Wow.
Olean shut out Lakeshore 27-0, which is not a surprise. The Olean team is actually really good. 3-3 on the year. Lockport just wow. 43-12 Grand Island over Lockport. Grand Island improves to 5-1 on the year. Western New York Maritime improves to 4-2 on the year with a 30-8 win over Maryville. And
wow,
Maritime has not played a game at home yet, according to Section 6.
That's shocking.
Yes.
What?
Again, we have Medina up 18-7 over Wilson.
And Wilson, they've been a powerhouse for years. That's a bit of a shock, the Wilson Lakemen.
Another shock here is Fredonia 21, Southwestern 7. Now, we know Fredonia is a great team.
Yes, they are.
But Southwestern, I'm not sure.
They've had an off year so far this year. Very uncharacteristic of them. They've been a great team for many years, even before Coach J.U. Kalkrick was coaching there. And right now, it's the last 2 years, it's been Jake Burkholder as the head coach for Southwestern. And coincidentally, last week, Jamestown's game against South Park, their quarterback's coach, John Kinder, was on call on that with myself.
Isn't he such a great guy?
He is.
Coach Kinder's a great person.
In all honesty, I thought he was going to be the head coach when J.U. announced he was leaving. But it was just an opinion, nothing about getting mad or anything,
right.
Just an honest professional opinion.
That is very true. So CSP up over Franklinville, Ellicottville 3-0. So that's a tight defensive battle.
What quarter's that in? First, second?
I believe it's half now.
Wow, and that's very unusual because CSP, they're a high-scoring team. And Randolph, their main man's been Xander Hind.
Yeah, Randolph is currently at Silver Creek, so right just down the road. Excuse me.
And who's CSP playing again, you said?
Franklinville, Ellicottville. So
Franklinville, Ellicottville, yeah, they've been great this year too. And one of their main guys, Blake Frank, one of the wide receivers, having a great season. But back to this game real quick. Hamburg, they were starting to get it together a little bit near the end of the first half. They had an 80-yard kickoff return touchdown by Devin Collins. That's as good as it's gotten for him with that kickoff return tonight. Every handoff he's had, he's pretty much been neutralized by Jamestown's defense, hence a reason why it scores 40-7. And when they've chosen to throw the ball with their quarterback, Nolan Hevern, the defense has just been all over him like the glue on paper. It's
the edge rushers, too, that are just they're making their defense they're making the blockers miss.
The main one's Jarrell Farmer.
Yep, Lancaster's up 27-8 in the second quarter. Is probably in the half now. Still do not have a score for Kenmore East or Bennett at Kenmore East. North Tonawanda losing 34-20. That game from the last update was in the second quarter. It's probably in the half.
Barn burner.
Yeah. And it is 40-7 here.
25-6 in the first quarter?
Yep. That's not in the first quarter. That's probably not updated right now.
That's got to be at least at halftime.
Yep. Will East and Amherst tied like a knot at 7. West Seneca East and Iroquois tied like a knot at 14 at halftime. And we're still waiting for a score from the East Aurora Holland and Dunkirk game. And the players are about to warm up. We're going to go back on break.
All right.
Thank you for joining me on the Jeremy Becker Halftime Show here on Western New York Athletics, live from Hamburg, New York.
When you're ready to buy a
Paul Wolf Agency, how can I help?
I got a problem. I got a big problem. The house flooded overnight, everything's destroyed, and I don't know what to do.
You can relax. The wolf is on his way.
What's the damage?
It's bad.
As opposed to good? It's 20 minutes away. I'll be there in 10.
You're Teddy?
Yes, sir.
I'm Paul Wolf. I solve problems.
Oh, good, because I got a big one in here.
May I come in?
Absolutely.
Mr. Wolf, can I get you a cup of coffee?
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab right away. If you are in pain or just sore, don't take chances. Call RES today and take advantage of their 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. With no copays, RES will help navigate the confusing world of no-fault insurance with you, so you can concentrate on getting better. 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. The most important call you can make after an auto accident.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab right away. If you are in pain or just sore, don't take chances. Call RES today and take advantage of their 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. With no copays, RES will help navigate the confusing world of no-fault insurance with you, so you can concentrate on getting better. 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. The most important call you can make after an auto accident.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to WNYimmediatecare.com for more information.
Does he do car? Forget about it. How about home? Forget about it. Does he get good rates? Forget about it. And you're saying there's no problem too big for this guy? Forget about it. Paul, this is Johnny, the guy we've been talking about. Johnny, this is Paul Wolf.
Mr. Wolf, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for the invite.
Not a problem. It's Paul, not Mr. Wolf.
Oh, sorry, Paul.
Johnny, forget about it. For all your insurance needs, call 835-WOLF. And...
And we're about to start the second half here at Hamburg High School in Hamburg, New York. Jamestown up 40-7 over Hamburg. And to the viewers that are just tuning into this game that missed the first half, Jalen Butera, 5 rush touchdowns in the first half alone. And Hamburg's only score came on a kickoff return by Devin Collins, an 80-yard kickoff return. And Jamestown's other touchdown that was not Butera, pick 6 by Caleb Bain.
Yeah, I mean, and that was on a screenplay, too.
Yes, it was. And that's how linemen get the most interception possibilities, those screen passes. If you're over 6 feet tall, you can deflect it to yourself. And coincidentally, he's about to kick it off here for Jamestown.
Yeah, he is 6'1". So just about as tall as I am. A little shorter than you.
And here comes the boot by Bain. And that is a knuckleballer to the left side. And fielded it around the 25-yard line and reversing the field, going to the center. This is Gomolka, and he gets stopped at around the 35-yard line. One of the guys to take him down for Jamestown was Brandon Lobb, number 51. So Hamburg, you're down 40-7. You get the ball start second half. Just go one play at a time. It may not be a possibility of you coming back fully from this deficit, but go out there, get some positive plays, get a touchdown or two minimum, build some confidence going into next week.
Exactly.
Their next game after this one will be against South Park on the road.
Jamestown will be home against Williamsville East.
And we'll be at that game too. And it's going to be an inside handoff and tackle it around the 39-yard line.
So it's about a gain of 4.
Gain of 4.
Gain of 4.
Not sure who was the runner on the ball. Again, Frontier, those black jerseys,
Frontier.
Dark purple numbers.
Hamburg.
Or Hamburg, I'm sorry. That does happen sometimes.
It's all right.
But at least I could say Timon.
Hey, Timon's still down to South Mega 21-0.
But here comes the second down. And it's going to be another handoff, but read right away by Anderson. He won't get the tackle, but he will influence the run. And one of the guys to bring him down was Radon Wright, number 18. His playing time's been starting to increase a little bit over the last 2-3 games. Didn't really play the first couple for Jamestown, but over the last few since injuries to Ty Schultz and Trevon Blakesley, he's been starting to get small morsels of action, and I think he's making the most of it.
Norm, I just saw something on my total stats.
What's that?
Jamestown has more rushing yards than Hamburg has total yards.
I believe that.
Right now, the Bulldog offense, only 115 total yards.
Well, here comes a third down. Hevard wants to throw, throws it center of the field, and that nearly got the official in the head, but thankfully he was able to duck. This is football, not whack-a-mole. It's a 3-and-out right off the bat to start it off here for Hamburg. And for the second half, it'll be 4th and 7 to 30. Let's see if Renagel here can get sufficient protection to execute a decent punt. His first punt was deflected by Sincere Green, only went 2 yards. His next one was a knuckleballer due to some pressure, but it got muffed by Jamestown. Hamburg fell on it at the 25-yard line, recovered it, and they weren't able to get anything out of it, but they were able to get the points on the board like we've talked about, but it's going to be 4th and 7 at the 30. Let's see if Renagel can get a good punt here. Snap, and here comes the kick. And that one was nearly blocked, but that's a better punt by him. And it'll bounce at the 35, and a lovely bounce there. Inside the 25 to the 24. That's going to be a 46-yard punt, and by far that was Renagel's best punt of the night.
Definitely. Renagel's not been having a really good night, but it's really
not his fault.
I was about to say it's not really his fault. Jamestown's just been getting the pressure to him really quickly, beating their man, and just soon, by the time he gets the ball, he's not Superman.
Oh, no.
So
he's doing the best with what he can do.
Exactly, and that punt was beautiful.
It almost was blocked again, though, but he was able to pop it up high in the sky, just like a torpedo going high up into the air, or Robin Williams on Flubber putting it on the ball, bouncing and it goes high up in the sky.
Didn't that happen last night? A ball got blocked on Thursday Night Football.
Yes, it did.
And then the punter picked it up and punted it again.
As long as the ball's behind the line of scrimmage, you can punt it again. And that was a 51-yard punt, by the way. But Seattle lost. Russell Wilson broke his finger. But now Jets bust. Geno Smith might be starting the next game or two because they're saying the break is bad.
Well, there goes my fantasy team for the season, folks.
Work with what you got. But it'll be 1st and 10 to 24
Dang.
for Jamestown. And let's see what they do here for their first series of the second half.
Imagine they're rushing Butera.
And he deserves it, unless he's one of the wideouts there, but it's a trips right, one receiver left. Ben Anderson the back, and let's see what Jamestown does here for this first play of the second half. They'll give it to him, and looking for some room in the center of the field, but he gets nowhere. And one of the guys for Hamburg to bring him down, that was Andrew Takach, number 77.
It's like a loss of 1.
It looked like a loss of 1, maybe no gain.
I'm going to say loss.
It's ruled no gain.
Ryan Judge has lost
2nd and 10 at the 24. Going 4 wides. And here's a snap. Drake wants to throw one. Here's the pass that's caught by Butera. Butera dances to the 30-yard line, and that's going to be it. Or it may not have been. That may have been just a 1-yard gain. Sometimes viewing it with the crowded defenders, it can be tricky.
Looks like from my angle it was a 2-yard gain.
It has been ruled a 2-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down 9 at the 26. Could we see back-to-back 3-and-outs to start the second half?
Could be. 19-19 left.
19-19. This isn't soccer.
Or 9-19. For some reason, I had 19 too.
Unless you watched the hockey game earlier.
No, I'm currently following a hockey game right now, so maybe that's why.
But it's going to be 4 wides, and Anderson's the back. Third down in at the 26. It's going to be a 3rd and 9. Back to throw, and he'll throw it to the center of the field. That's complete. That is over to Freeney, and Freeney gets tackled at the 45. That will be enough for a first down. 19 yards on the play. So Jamestown picking it up a bit where they left off in the first half, albeit they're not using Butera probably to rest him up for next week and just have him flank out as a slot.
Probably, and that was the first time I've seen Jamestown throw a slant. Or
that was a slant, yes.
That was a slant route, but I haven't seen Jamestown run a slant route in a while.
No, they're usually just wheel routes. But here comes the motion man. That is Butera. And we got a flag. And that's a 3rd false start of the game for Jamestown. And even in spite of the deficit, or in spite of the big lead, I'm sure Langworthy would still not be happy about false starts, delay of games, because it shows that you're just kicking back, taking it easy when you should still be playing.
Exactly. Clock begins to run again.
8:12 left in the 3rd quarter. 40-7 the score for Jamestown ahead of Hamburg.
You got to imagine if Jamestown scores here, they'll probably just go with running clock for the rest of the game.
You never know. Just have to wait and see.
Oh, we got an update. CSB 10, Franklin Ellicottville 6 in the 2nd quarter.
And here comes Butera set in motion. And here's his first carry of the second half. And he will get to the 40, and he may have lost a yard. Brought down by a pile of people.
Looks like they're going to mark him down.
Collins and Matthias, the main guys on the tackle. It'll be a loss of a yard. So a rare one there for Butera. Looks like the Blue Moons hit the sky a little bit. Loss of a yard.
I can't tell. It's nighttime and it's clear. Anyways, enough about that silly joke. Yeah, and that's Butera. It's not back to. It is back-to-back negative yardage.
False start, loss of 1.
Yep. But Butera, that was either his second or his first negative run play.
Well, he is the back right. No, it's Anderson as he's set in motion. Here's a snap. Drake wants to throw for it. He lobs it center of the field. Butera, and he could be gone. And he will be. He's going to pull shades of Alvin Kamara and Ernie Nevers. Touchdown number 6 of the night but we got a late flag. Late flag in the end zone. Usually that's a conduct penalty, but we'll have to wait and see.
The touchdown will stand.
It'll be assessed on the kickoff.
Right.
But let's see what it is, though. I'm curious.
From 37 to the end zone is 63 yards.
That was a 63-yard touchdown. 5th receiving touchdown of the year for Butera, so showing he can catch as well as run. And just like the days of the 60s in the American Football League before the leagues merged, use the run to set up the pass.
So that brings Butera.
And it will be unsportsmanlike conduct. And that's going to be on Jamestown. The touchdown will count. That's going to be assessed on the kickoff. The 15-yarder usually is. And if Butera were to get 2, it would be – if a player gets 2, it's an ejection.
Right.
So 46-7 now the score. Jamestown pulling the shades of 46 defense with the 46 points.
Jamestown total offense 438 yards.
Wow, and more than 300 of it's been rushing.
That was more. That's so close. 296 again because of the negative yardage.
Again, it's an estimation.
Yes, it is.
But they're going to go for the extra point here with Profiter.
And here you got to think they're going to probably go running clock.
It all depends on what Hamburg wants to do, though, at the same token.
That's true.
Well, here comes the put-down kick, and that one is through. So 47-7 now to score. 6:48 left in the 3rd quarter, and Jamestown adds another touchdown their lead. And this is almost the same exact score as it was the last time these two teams played each other, but it was 47-6.
Right.
That was back in April.
Right, because Hamburg missed the extra point because it was blocked.
Yes.
I believe by Green. If I remember right. I mean, that was all the way back in like April, May.
But let's see what Hamburg does here. The lead swells up to 40 points, 47-7. And the way it's going, Hamburg's going to fall to 4-2 after starting 4-0. But their last 2 games of the regular season after Jamestown, they're on the road at South Park, and they also play Frontier. I know Jamestown's last game of the year, they're playing Amherst.
In Amherst. And Williamsville East will be coming to Strider Field to finish out that season. But I believe next week, if Jamestown wins, they clinch home field advantage in the playoffs.
And that will be big, and they may see South Park again, pending the results.
You say that, but I think it's going to be Jamestown Frontier.
That would be a good one.
I believe that would be this. That would be for the Section 6 Class A title.
Yeah, and for the Frontier, that will be a shot at redemption. So the kickoff will be back to the 25-yard line due to the unsportsmanlike penalty.
Jamestown will kick off on the 25-yard
If I'm Bain, I go full throttle, kick that ball as hard as you can. You don't want to give Hamburg good field position. You want to keep your deficit growing.
Well, that's actually.
Oh, that is a nice kick. Field at the 35. That's Gomolka. Fakes the pitch to Collins. Crosses midfield and gets to about the 47-yard line. Almost wanted to try and pull the River City relay there, trying to pitch it over to Collins, but they're in Jamestown territory. It's a good start. Now you got a chance to get another touchdown on the board. If this should be their goal. Crack double digits.
Yeah. At this point, yes. 6:38 left in the third quarter.
And this is the first game where, for Jamestown, this has been a full rout. All the other games have been fairly close.
Jamestown 48, so not bad field position for Hamburg.
Now, that was about a 17-yard return by Gomolka, but it's going to be Hevered under center. The I formation, and it's a fake handoff. He wants to throw. Looking. He'll swing it over to the right side. That is complete to the tight end, number 44, Matias. That's his second catch of the game.
Yep, that's going to be about a gain of 7 or 6 or 7.
They're calling it an 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Good start for Hamburg.
Not 2nd and 2.
We're just going with what we're hearing.
Yep, that's going to be 7. That's going to be. It was close. 2nd down 3.
We're just going with what we're seeing. It's going to be counter there. It looked like it was a possible reverse, but it got busted. But it was Collins on the handoff, and he got tackled by a wall of the front 4 of Jamestown's defensive line. And Collins has been held in check tonight. He came into this game averaging nearly 10 yards a carry, but to his credit, he has scored Hamburg's only points of the game, with the exception of Renagle's extra point.
Yeah. I mean, and that's really surprising because, like we were talking about it, on the season coming in, he was on 87 rushes. He had 844 yards. So to keep Devin Collins in check is a great job by this Jamestown defense.
It's going to be a 3rd down and 4 here. Looking. Heverin does have some space if he wants to run. He's going to take off. He's got enough of the 1st down, and he gets out of bounds at around the 37. So that he does convert the 3rd down. Kyler Nickerson with the stop. Nickerson's been quiet tonight. Last week, 16 tackles.
That's going to be close. Yep,
it looked like he got to the 37.
They might.
That's a 1st down.
1st down, Bulldog.
Yep.
Yeah, there's been a little confusion with the spotting of the ball tonight. We're just going with what we see to the best of our ability. But now Hamburg getting a little deeper in Jamestown's territory. Also wouldn't hurt for them to burn a little clock, too. Yes, you're down by 40, but you don't want to let Jamestown get 50. But here comes the handoff to the motion man, Gomolka. He gets to the 30, roughly. That'll be a gain of about 6, maybe 7 yards.
He's brought down by number 22, Ben Anderson.
And Anderson with another tackle.
Uh-oh.
And there's a guy down. It looks like that's Kyler Nickerson. With that, we will take a quick break. 4:31 left in the 3rd. Jamestown up 47-7. Stick around for the remaining 16.5 minutes of this game right here on W.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love
And it was indeed Kyler Nickerson that was shaken up, but he is able to get up on his own power. That is a good sign. It's going to be 2nd down and 3 at the 30-yard line for Hamburg. A 7-yard run by Ryan Gomolka on the handoff after going in motion. And it'll be, again, 2nd and 3 at the 30, and Hamburg with a shot to get another touchdown on the board here.
It wouldn't hurt, really. Just try to break double digits and then hope Jamestown doesn't score again.
Honestly, if they're able to do that, they could chalk the second half a success.
Right. 4:31 left. Nope, we're going to go running. Oh, okay.
Probably because he was Gomolka was inbounds, but here comes the pistol formation here for Hamburg. And here comes the motion man that is level. And Hevern wants to throw. Looking. Farmer on the pressure again. Here comes the throw. He's just going to throw it away. He was outside the tackle box, so that will not be grounding. If you're outside the box, you can throw it anywhere you want, and there's no grounding.
Right. Wait, is that a what is on the field?
Wait, there's a flag. Unless there was a holding. For grounding, you have to be in the tackle box.
No, they're waving it.
Oh, may have been an inadvertent flag then. So it's going to be no penalty here for Hamburg. So it'll be 3rd down and 3 at the 30-yard line.
Clock will start on the snap.
Yes, it will. Even though in spite of deficit since the first quarter, though, Hamburg showing they can move the ball. They just haven't been able to punch it in, with the exception of that kickoff return.
And really, they kind of been pushing themselves back with penalties.
Yes, they have. And it's going to be a handoff again to Collins, and he'll get it to about the 28. That's going to be close. It'll depend on the spot.
It looks like it's 2.
It's at about the 28.
So again, it's 2.
Probably 4th and a foot. And Drace Garland on the tackle. So it's going to be 4th and 1 here at the 20-yard line for Hamburg.
Again,
Hamburg down 47-7, but go on.
I was going to say, again, this is a no-brainer to go for it.
Yes,
Because,
it is.
4th and 1, you're already down by so much. There's really nothing to lose at this point.
Got everything to gain, got nothing to lose.
Exactly.
4th down and a yard. Here comes the sneak, and he's got it. He's definitely got it. Got it to about the 25-yard line. So needed 1 yard, got 2-3. You don't need a lot. You just need enough. He got enough. It's a 1st down, and they're getting even closer to reaching the end zone again. 3:20 left in the 3rd quarter and counting, excuse me. They've been pretty much owning this clock for the 3rd quarter, which is another plus they can carry over into their game next week versus South Park.
Exactly. And you need a lot of momentum going into the game against South Park with how good they are defensively.
They are, and like I said before about Willoughby, he's not a bad quarterback.
No.
He didn't have a bad performance.
Anyways, here's the snap. Going to throw it down, and it has a receiver.
Oh, nice catch. That was complete to Gomolka, 21 yards to the 5-yard line, and that was the first throw by Hevern that was executed to perfection. He had the right protection, shot it down to the left side of the field, and found Gomolka. Gomolka, another one of those guys, in spite of this deficit, having a good game for Hamburg.
Exactly, and they're going to go ahead and tell him to run this clock down.
Because he was still in bounds as well.
Exactly.
So it'll be a 1st down and goal at about the 8-yard line. They're going to go a trips right, and here's a snap, and it's a give to Collins, but again, he's got nowhere to go. Collins has just been neutralized. It's like if his feet were dipped in cement or he's walking with cinder blocks tied to his feet. He's been shut down offensively. You gotta tip your hat to Jamestown for the proper game planning on Collins.
Exactly. So for 24 rushes here for Hamburg, 78 yards.
So they're barely averaging 3 yards a carry, and that's mainly been Nolan Hevern.
Yeah. Hevern is 5 for 14, 83 yards. With that bit, and that was with the completion there.
2nd and goal at the 8. Hevern will roll out under pressure. Farmer with his 2nd sack of the game, and that's going to be back at the 25-yard line. That's going to be a 17-yard sack. It's going to be 3rd down and a long goal to go at the 25-yard line. This is almost like Mean Machine on the longest yard.
It's funny because this is still it's still technically
It's
third
still
and
goal
goal.
to go.
Third and goal.
They're marking it back at the 23-yard line. So that's going to be a 15-yard sack. Third down and goal at the 23. They need to give Heron protection because when he's wanting to throw, he hasn't gotten much help on the schematics of blocking. Let's see if he gets some here.
Look right there.
Nearly picked off there. That was almost intercepted by Brandon Lobb, and that was nearly 2 interceptions by screen passes. The other one was by Caleb Bain, where he just had the green grass at home that led him to the end zone.
Yeah. And he only had one person to beat if he got that ball.
Yeah. Oh, a second defensive lineman touchdown, though. That would have been nice. Those are always – they're going to kick a field goal here.
I mean,
it's not a bad idea. This is going to be a 41-yarder here for Brady Renagel. We have seen that he can punt the ball well, 46-yard punt. This will be a 41-yarder. Snap, put down, kick on the way, and it is going to be short.
Well short.
They did have Sincere Green back on the return. You can return a missed field goal if you please, but Jamestown's going to have it at their own 31-yard line here. 56 seconds left in the third. First down and 10. And Renagel, that was a nice kick, but if it would have been 5 yards shorter, I think that would have went through.
It would have made it. I mean, I think he was only 1 or 2 yards short, Norm. I mean, not everyone can be Justin Tucker and kick 66.
Well, with his, that hit the bottom upright and went in.
And it was in the dome.
Yeah, he's had 2 game-winning 60-plus yarders in Detroit. One was on prime time, 61 yards Monday night, and the other one from 66, doink, went in.
Do you think that field goal would have happened if he was outside? I say no.
No, the winds? No. That would have been at least 2 yards short. But nonetheless, 1st and 10, and this will be spotted at the 20. And it's going to be a give to Butera, and here we go again. Makes a man miss at the 30. 35 to the 40, out of bounds, 42, 43. Now they've definitely eclipsed 300 yards rushing.
Yeah, because that was a
23 yards, I would say, and it was Brady Custra with the tackle there.
319 rushing yards.
Oh, man, add the 2 to the front. We got a Monsters Inc. 23-19. We got a 23-19. Or where he gets his mouth blocked. 23-9. But 45 seconds left in the third. Ball at the 43-yard line after the 23-yard run by Jalen Butera. It'll be first down and 10 for the Red Raiders. They're going to try. I'm thinking they're going to try and go for the 50 here just for the heck of it.
Maybe.
But it might be unintentional, though, at the same time.
Exactly. Maybe they're just going to.
Well, they do got Anderson at the single back. And Butera is one of the slot receivers. Here's the snap, and Drake will throw. Wings it over. That is dropped, incomplete, intended for Melendez.
8 for 10 today so far for Ben Drake.
In spite of Butera's amazing night, I would say passing-wise, this has been Drake's best game by far this year.
Oh, by far. He's 80%.
Well, I'm not saying just that. I'm meaning, like, also the precision, the patience, the poise, the confidence.
And he actually has time to see. It's really been a good.
And here's the pitch to Anderson. Anderson will cross the 45, and he'll get past midfield, and it's about 7-8 yards. It will be third down and short. It's going to be about 8 yards.
Yeah.
So it'll be third down and 2.
Yep. That's what I got.
And I think Jamestown will just let this clock run and start the fourth quarter.
Yep, and that's how we're going to end the third quarter. So it is currently 47-7 in favor of the Jamestown Raiders right here on Western New York Athletics. We'll be back for the fourth quarter of this game.
Paul Wolf Agency, how can I help?
I got a problem. I got a big problem. The house flooded overnight, everything's destroyed, and I don't know what to do.
You can relax. The wolf is on his way.
What's the damage?
It's bad.
As opposed to good? It's 20 minutes away. I'll be there in 10.
You're Teddy?
Yes, sir.
I'm Paul Wolf. I solve problems.
Oh, good, because I got a big one in here.
May I come in?
Absolutely.
Mr. Wolf, can I get you a cup of coffee?
And we're about to start the fourth quarter here at Hamburg High School. Jamestown up 47-7, and Jalen Butera got another touchdown in the third quarter on a 63-yard touchdown reception. That's the only touchdown that there was in the third quarter, and they do got the ball at the 49-yard line of their own. It was an 8-yard run by Ben Anderson to end the third quarter, and it's going to be 3rd and 2 here. And we see Butera is back out as the single back beside Drake, and he's only had 2 carries in this half, so I'm assuming that they're resting him up. His last carry, though, went for 23.
Exactly. I mean, Ben Anderson's been just as good as Jalen has. And Jamestown on the ground has just been dominating this Hamburg defense.
Fake handoff to Butera. Drake rolling out to the right. Throws O'Brien. That's complete. Gets to about the 46, 45. It's more than enough for a first down.
That's a gain of 4, right? So it's good to see Sean O'Brien back. That injury looks like it was a minor thing he was able to come back from. So great to see him playing again. Good throw there by Trey, running and throwing the ball into the flat. And again, you nailed it on the head. This has probably been Trey's best game this year. Anyways, it looks like single back right now.
Yes, it is. They're going to go 2 wides here, 2 slots, 1 slot on each side and 2 at the line. And Butera, the only back beside Drake. And, and that's going to be a delayed flag, but that's a clear offside.
No, they're calling false start on Jamestown.
False start. Wow. I was about to say, though, the king of forcing offsides, Aaron Rodgers. Dude. He's the king of the free play.
He is.
That kind of threw me off unless one of the defensive linemen saw an offensive lineman twitch. Because when you're set, you have to be like a statue. Even a little twitch of the face or an elbow wiggle, the ref's throwing the flag.
Timon is down 28-0.
There, you got it.
That's the only reason I brought that game up, folks, is so I can make sure I say Timon right.
Yeah, just remember, it's not the Lion King. But 1st and 15 at midfield after the false start. Here's a snap. Drake wants to throw. He'll throw it in the flats to Butera, incomplete. Tried throwing that little swing pass to him, but couldn't get a hold of it. And the throw was low and a bit wide, so that would have been tough. And that probably could have been a loss of yardage as well, so Butera better off letting that go incomplete.
Yeah. All right. 10:50 left.
And in all honesty, even though this is a great game to be doing, it's been a relatively slow one. But it's still been a fun one to do as Drake has 4 wides and will send Butera in motion. Here comes the empty backfield play. Looking. He'll just throw a screen over to Butera, and he'll cut it to the inside to midfield. 45, tackle down around the 41. So it'll be about 9 yards on the catch. Make it 2nd down 6. Or no, 3rd down 6, excuse me.
Little under 10:30 left here in this game.
9 yards on the play. It's 3rd down.
I do wonder, though, if it'll be unintentional 50 points for Jamestown, because in their defense, when opposing teams get a little upset about the padding stats, running up the score, the other team will say it's your job to stop us. It's something I've seen before on documentaries and whatever, but Drake's going to go empty backfield here on a 3rd and 6 at the 42-yard line. And shotgun formation, Drake will roll out to the right, looking, throws it downfield, and incomplete. It was intended for Colin Melendez, but that's something that Drake got better with.
Oh, we got an injured player.
Well, we'll take a quick break ourselves. 9:48 left in the game, 47-7 in favor of Jamestown. Stick around for the remainder of this game right here on WNY Athletics.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab right away. If you are in pain or just sore, don't take chances. Call RES today and take advantage of their 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. With no copays, RES will help navigate the confusing world of no-fault insurance with you, so you can concentrate on getting better. 681-4088. RES Physical.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
Being home.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab.
And we're back in action. It was Justin Penn that was the man down the play. He was able to get up, as I've said before, always a good sign. And heard a little bit of an inside joke prior about the no relation to Sean Penn. That kind of makes me want to watch one of his movies, one of his most famous, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Looks like the Red Raiders will go for it.
And Jamestown's going to go for it here. It's going to be a pitch to Butera and a flag on the play. He'll easily get the first down, but this is probably going back.
It is.
This would be a lucky number 7, but there is a penalty. It's in the vicinity of holding. I was kind of surprised at that. I don't understand why Jamestown just wouldn't choose to punt the ball.
Right, and you can see all the linemen coming back. They know.
Even in spite of this big
illegal
lead,
formation?
This one's coming back. It's a illegal procedure.
Illegal procedure.
Okay.
So that's usually where the offensive linemen are not set or a lineman is blocking a receiver. And if that happens, that's usually an illegal formation. To the viewers that are watching this game that don't know what it is.
That's only a loss of 5.
It's only a 5-yard penalty. I would say this one you should punt the ball.
Ball placed down on the 40.
Yes, I would punt the ball.
Excuse me. Melendez has got the lead foot.
He does, but it looks like they still want. They
want to go for the 50.
They really want the points.
I wonder if there's some tension. Usually if two teams don't like each other, that's usually a thing. But there's a trip stacked, but a timeout's being called here by, we'll wait and see, Jamestown. So we just had a break a minute ago. We're not going to go to another one right now. 9:38 left in regulation, 47-7 the score. And not to bash Jamestown, but I have to question this. Why are you not booting the ball? You're already up 40 points. You've got the game won. Just coffin corner the punt, pin it back deep. You've got the game won.
I can't justify it either, Norm. But that is their call.
It is.
27-7 Fredonia.
Wow, that has me blown away because that's one of those games where a diehard high school fan in Western New York would expect that to be a shootout.
Exactly.
Aiden Kennedy, he's been a great quarterback the last couple of years, taking over for Cole Snyder, who's now at Rutgers. Nick Whitfield, the quarterback who's a senior for Fredonia, basically a 1-2 punch of him and Matthew Lauder, the fullback linebacker who is having a great season also for the Hillbillies. But we might get a take 3 here of the prequel to the sequel of the trilogy of going for it here on 4th down. We have 9:38 left in the 4th. Jamestown had a touchdown run but was called back by a holding. They had a trip stack formation, but they must not have liked the defensive alignment that Hamburg was showing, so Langworthy maybe going over things. And looks like they're going to go for it here again. They do got Melendez out there, but he'll be the furthest receiver on the left side. They're going to go with the trips once again. One receiver to the right. And let's see what Jamestown does here. And it's a fake pitch of Butera. Drake wants to throw. Shooting it downfield, going for Freeney, incomplete.
Pass is incomplete. And
that was intended for Darius Freeney, and they're going to turn it over on downs. I'm wondering if it's just a tension thing. I'm wondering if both these teams can't stand each other.
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't think there's no history between the two teams that would make me think that they don't like each other. I mean, the only schools with Jamestown I could think about that is Lancaster, Orchard Park, and Frontier. And that's when they're in class. That's when they were in Class AA.
Yeah, and I remember how fierce those were. I'm not a Jamestown alum, but I have seen the games, and I've even broadcasted a couple of them. working right here for WNY Athletics since 2018. Like
exactly, and when I say it's Jamestown and Orchard Park and Jamestown and Lancaster don't like each other, they do not like each other. Like if it was 4th and long, Jamestown would have gone for it against Lancaster if they were up by this score.
Yeah, but even so, Hamburg's got great field position here. They got a chance to break double digits. That should be the goal here. And here comes a throw, and incomplete. That was intended for Bryce Hand, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. And honestly, in spite of all the rushing or whatever, when Heverns had sufficient time, he has not looked bad throwing the ball.
No, but he really hasn't had much time. I mean, there hasn't been too many plays where he has had a lot of time.
Yeah, and if people want to blame the bad play on the quarterback, sometimes the lack of protection does not help.
Exactly.
But here's a snap, and it's going to be a handoff over to Nolan Gannon. And he got stopped right away by the Jamestown front 4.
It's going to be a loss of 2.
Loss of 2 yards, and it's almost like that song, 1 step forward and 2 steps back. It's going to be a it's going to be a 3rd down 12 for Hamburg.
3rd and 12 Bulldogs. 9 minutes to play here in the 4th.
Personally, because we're not working for Jamestown, we're working for WNY Athletics, I do want to see Hamburg get another touchdown on the board. I do too. Because that would really boost their confidence. Again, they're playing South Park next week, and South Park, they are a good team.
They're not just good, they're great.
But here comes a snap. Hevern wants to go to the air again. He's under pressure again, and he's going to be sacked by Caleb Bain. And he doesn't even need the mask or try to attack Batman to get that sack. And Bain, you got to throw him in possibly for a Defensive Player of the Week. Getting that sack there, the pick 6 on the screen.
That's his 2nd or 3rd sack of the game.
I believe that is his 2nd sack. And Jarrell Farmer's also got a pair as well.
That's 4th and 27.
And even though they want to try and get another touchdown on the board, this is the right decision. I'm sure you don't want Jamestown to crack 50 points.
Right.
But they do have Darius Freeney as the deep man on the return. But it looks like Jamestown's going to bull rush here. They did deflect a punt earlier in the game. That was by Sincere Green. And here comes the boot. And Green nearly got there again. There's going to be a running into the kicker penalty. And that's a beautiful punt. Honestly, if they were, I would decline this because that was a good punt, or 5 yards at the spot of the ball being down.
Exactly.
It's not going to be a roughing the punter. It's going to be running into the punter.
Right, which is 5 yards.
Yes, if it was roughing, it'd be an automatic first down.
Makes it a 4th and 20.
I think they're just gonna leave the ball where it is, or maybe move it 5 yards back, because that was a good punt there by Renagel. You don't want to put him back out there again and have it possibly be 20 yards shorter.
Right. Or blocked.
That too. Because he's been rushed all night when he's been punting the ball.
I'm surprised that's really, Jamestown's been really aggressive to the kicker. I'm surprised, good discipline by Jamestown. I'm surprised that's the first running or roughing the kicker penalty we've had all night. Because there's been a couple times it's kind of been close. Penalty was declined.
So that's going to be a 51-yard punt there by Renagel.
Wow.
So it'll be at the 19, and then 5 yards tacked back from the running into the kicker by Green. Green there with a great effort, but I think that was one that was beyond his control. I don't think he would have been able to stop himself and avoid full-on being no contact.
Right.
I don't think there was any way that he would not have contacted Renagel.
Ball will be on the 14-yard line.
So let's see what Jamestown does here. The last time they were aggressive, but let's see what they do here. They might just give it to Butera, maybe let him get another 300-yard rushing game.
Maybe at this point. 1,300 yards on just...
45-yard punt for Brady Renagel.
Excuse me.
Well, they got 2 wide stacks on both sides.
I mean, he's close to 1,300 on the year anyway. He was coming in with 1,035.
Yep.
So I think actually just one more good run, and then he's got it.
And it looks like they only have 10 players out there. So one of the linemen may not have heard the call. 1st and 10 to 14, and Radon Wright's the single back. He'll get the carry. And he's going to be bottled up by Hamburg's defense.
You got a couple.
Radon Wright with the carry. Short gain on the play. Tactics in on the stop.
It's a gain of 1. So a short gain.
Yep.
Keeps the clock running.
Second and 8.
So, looks like they're just going to take their time here now. Again, the score 47-7, under 7 minutes left in the game. Jamestown's on pace to be winning 14 of their last 15 games.
Yep, that is correct. The only loss coming in the Section 6 Class A championship.
And here comes the throw on the flats. That's complete to Melendez. He crosses the 30, and he gets knocked out of bounds at around the 33.
Pass is complete to Melendez.
And Melendez, he's also listed as the backup quarterback to Drake. And when he has taken snaps, he's mainly just been like a Brad Smith, just a different version of the Wildcat where it's not Butera.
Right. So that's a 14-yard gain. So Trey Drake surpassing 160 yards on the day.
Wow.
Pretty good. 11 for 16.
That's nearly 70% as Drake in the pistol. He'll give it to Radon Wright, and Wright finds a bit of a gap, crosses the 35. He'll get about 5 yards. Nice run there by Wright. And with these backups, this is your chance to show that you can make the most of your opportunities. And if you do well on each one, maybe your reps will increase a little bit in earlier parts of the games, respectively.
Exactly.
So this is a chance for guys like Radon Wright who haven't had a boatload of action, and this is going to be a huge shift here. This is almost looking like the America's team Dallas Cowboys with all the shifting around that the line does.
Looks like they're going to do a second team shift. They're going to bring in their second team.
And they got Melendez out there. Looks like he will be taking the snap.
Apparently they think the lead's safe now.
Well, Melendez will be in a 2-back set with 3 wides, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. He usually just does keepers when he does take the snaps. And that'll be a give to Wright. And he cuts to the 40 and around the 41, 42.
It'll be third down.
It's a gain of 4.
That's what I was thinking. A gain of roughly 3-4 yards.
Yep, gain of 4. 3rd and 1 coming up.
So 4:47 left in the game. 47-7 the score in favor of Jamestown. So it's going to be all backups here for Jamestown now. Melendez taking the shotgun snaps in the pistol formation, high snap, and he's going to keep it here. And he will cross the 45. He does get enough for the first down. 4:20 left in the game, 47-7. Jamestown converts the 3rd down.
Ball's placed down on the 47-yard line. Will be 1st and 10 Red Raiders on their own 47.
So 47-yard line.
20 carries, 342 yards.
That's just over 17 yards of carry. 17.1 if we want to be technical. Melendez will take the snap, and this is going to be a give. And there's a flag on the play. That's Nickerson with the carry, and gets knocked out of bounds there.
There is a flag, so we have to stop the clock.
It's usually in the area of holding.
It was a clear holding, Norm.
So it's going to be against Jamestown. Even in spite of a 40-point lead, with all these penalties, I'm sure Langworthy will not be pleased about that.
There are still areas to improve.
There's always room to improve on something.
Exactly.
And you and I, we've known Coach Langworthy for a good while now, between you knowing him from high school and me getting known from these broadcast jobs and gigs and everything. And great guy to talk to, and he is no nonsense when he coaches the Red Raiders football team. When things get serious with that, he means business.
Right.
They got trips right and one receiver to the left. Radon Wright the back. And here's bad snap. And Melendez will fall on it at the 14-yard line. That's going to be a loss of 16 yards. It's kind of one of those things that you wouldn't mind seeing in the football follies.
Exactly.
And there's no flag on the play if you're seeing the flag. It's just from the last play.
Oops. My bad.
It's all good, Jeremy. Just letting the viewers and watchers know. But it's going to be a 3rd down and 40. 3rd down and a couple of country miles here for Jamestown. And he'll just hand it off to Nickerson. He stopped right away for a loss of even more yardage. And it looked like that it was Dins with the tackle. So it's going to be a 4th down and 42 possibly.
Looks like they're keeping it as like a... You're going to say he got back.
And it's Derek Benningfield with the tackle. And okay, so it's 3rd down. There was a bit of confusion again, but that does happen. Nothing's perfect. It's going to be a 3rd down and 42. 3rd down and a couple miles here for Jamestown. This would be something that you would give it to Forrest Gump and you'd convert it.
Or Jalen Butera.
Well, that was an inadvertent snap there to right across the 15 to the 20, 25 to the 30. Oh my goodness. And I think he's got enough for the 1st down here. 40, knocked down to 37, and he's got enough for the 1st down. Wow, my God. What a play there by Radon Wright, and that's called making the most of your opportunities. That was a gain of 45 by Radon Wright, and I'm sure that's one where Butera's probably got a big smile giving him a round of applause.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a good run. Wait, nope, never mind.
It's going to be against Jamestown. That took away probably the play of the night. 3rd and 42 by Radon Wright, and just goes up in smoke. Unless if it's a spot foul. Because if it's a spot foul, then they won't be way back inside their 20. Looks like it's going to be at around... Or wait a minute. No, 1st down.
Oh, no, they're marking it from the 1st down.
Marking it from the 1st down.
Okay, so it'll be at the spot, so it's going to be... That's going to be a midfield.
That makes it a... That makes it a...
It is the 1st down. Must have been
Oh.
It had to have been after the play then.
That was 45 yards.
So we got 1 minute left in the game. That was probably the play of the night right there, if not one of them. That would even break the NFL record if that was official. But it's going to be another give here. And it's Radon Wright again. He gets past midfield to about the 47-yard line. So gain of 3.
Radon Wright. What grade is he?
Radon Wright, I believe he is a sophomore, if not a junior.
He is a junior, 5'9", 190 pounds.
You know what? He could be the starter next year. Butera is a senior, and so is Ben Anderson.
That's a good point, Norm.
Let's see what Jamestown does here. They're just going to give it off to Kyler Nickerson. He'll cross the 45, about the 43, and that's going to be the last play of the game here. Jamestown is going to improve to 6-0 on the season. Hamburg will slip to 4-2, losing back-to-back games, and in almost the same score as it was last year between these two teams. This time, 47-7 instead of 47-6. Final score: Jamestown 47, Hamburg 7. And again, Jamestown's going to be 6-0, Hamburg 4-2. And for Hamburg, again, their final 2 games will be against South Park on the road, and then they're back home against Frontier. And Jamestown, they got 2 games left in the regular season as well.
They will be facing Williamsville East at Strider Field next Friday at 7 p.m.
We're going to be at that
then
one
they
for
will
sure.
do a Thursday game at Amherst on the 21st.
Thursday, a little prime time, high school prime time. But once again, the final score, Jamestown Red Raiders 47, Hamburg Bulldogs 7, on behalf of WNY Athletics and from the 300 Level Media Company. Along with Jeremy Becker and our behind-the-scenes man, Alex Kolste. I'm Norm Rodriguez saying you are watching this matchup between the Hamburg Bulldogs and Jamestown Red Raiders right here on WNY Athletics. Until next time.